What's up? What's cracking? What's crack-a-lacking? What's happening? What's happening? We up in here, man. We up in here, man. Salute to everybody in here, man. Hit the like button early, man. Let's get it cracking early, man. Hit that like button early, man. Is it LA is burning? LA is burning? I know nothing about that, man. Let's see what you talking about, man. Oh, they talking about the fire. Wildfires. Okay, yeah. Wildfires. Wildfires in LA. That's what you're talking about. Wildfires in LA. Let's see, man. We're gonna look into that first, man. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get into.
You just rode up here on your bike.
I rode up here on my bike just to see if I can help.
But you told me the school, Temescal, the Palisades High School?
Yep.
That's burning?
That's burning. Parts of it burning. The bleachers on the football field are gone. Houses just further down the canyon are gone. So I also skirted around to see if any of my friends were still here so we could find out how to get out. If we need to get out, what's a good avenue?
Well, there was a traffic jam earlier right past the high school. People were
from here to the 405.
But the high school at that point, around noon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was fine.
And
that was up here. We watched it all the way, right across the ridges here. Right. This place hasn't been since the 70s. I mean, it's big as these up there. And look at this. All right, I gotta go.
Okay.
All right. Welcome.
Yep, and I think it's time for us to go too. He just showed you that video. I don't know if you're able to see it, but that's proof and evidence. Further up the road, homes burned to the ground. It was a horrible sight to see that on his phone. It's just right here. I can tell you this home is beginning to burn as well. And what I saw further up, just horrible. Other homes burned to the ground.
Jasmine,
I'll send it back to you, Pat, Juan.
Yeah, we do want you to get out of there. And you want to say that, Juan, in your shot, Jasmine, it looks like we can see just a trail of what looks like burning leaves behind you there as you were talking, being blown by the wind just down the street there. So, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So we certainly want you to stay safe out there, Jasmine.
Yeah, I think it's like a construction. One of these homes under construction, and they had a huge pile of dirt and leaves, and that was beginning to catch fire and blow this direction.
Yeah, and that's just even presents more danger.
Wow.
You know, I would guess the good thing that you talked about, Jazz, that nobody's there. They're all gone.
It's a ghost town. Yep.
I'm glad that guy's getting out of here too.
No question. All right, Jazz. We'll talk to you a bit later. Okay, well, that gives you a good look at what's going out there, right? You know, this is another live look at the fire from a different neighborhood.
And our KCAL news reporter, Elise Martinez, has been live near the scene moments after this fire broke out, and she has the very latest now for us. Elise?
All right, so it's a little chaotic here. We're on PCH near Temescal Canyon, and we've been driving up and down PCH, but a lot of this part of the hillside wasn't this intense, wasn't burning like this, and it's just the winds are just whipping this fire up so intensely. And the scariest part was driving down PCH. And at some points, you couldn't see the road ahead of you because there was so much black smoke. And that smoke is just blowing towards us, blowing towards the ocean. And every once in a while, those gusts just really kick up. Like right now, our door, I have to shut our door, it flew open. So again, just a very scary situation here. If you don't have to be in this area, don't be in this area. They're trying to clear out these parking lots that are right next to the beach because a lot of people are coming and parking here, and they're telling everybody just to get out. But again, it's nighttime now, it's dark, and you can really see those flames burning here on PCH.
You sure can. So intense, Elise, and burning right there off PCH.
Wow. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Yikes. 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 Mm.
Well, next week, a Prince William County grand jury is expected to decide if a Manassas mother will go to trial for murdering her husband. Police say LaToya Crabb shot and killed Curtis Crabb in her family's home back in October.
But LaToya's mother says there's a missing piece to what happened. She alleges her daughter acted in self-defense. And for the first time, we're also hearing from LaToya since her arrest. Rafael Sanchez Cruz has the story.
LaToya's mother says this is a case of a woman defending herself and her family. We were just about to interview her when her daughter LaToya Crabb called from the Manassas jail. She did not talk about the case, but she did have this to say.
Oh, that's my daughter.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from LaToya Crabb, an inmate at the Prince William Manassas jail.
For the first time, we're hearing from LaToya Crabb, accused of shooting and killing her husband in her family's Manassas home.
This whole process has been frustrating and overwhelming, and my children are suffering for me being here, trying to prove my innocence. But it's a long process to prove that point.
The point LaToya is trying to prove is that she shot the father of her 3 children in self-defense.
I know my daughter. I know people say that. I know my daughter. She would never hurt anybody. But her life was on the line. It was either her life or his life.
LaToya Crabb is charged with second-degree murder.
They're alleging that she reloaded the gun, and that's why they've denied bond twice.
Right.
What do you respond to those allegations?
Maybe she did reload. And
she reloaded on that ass.
She shot him as many times as it took to stop the threat.
Curtis and LaToya got married in 2019 and were raising their children in the lower level of her parents' home. LaToya's mother, Marilyn Martin, says things changed when her daughter asked Curtis for a divorce in August.
There were red flags that I saw that I didn't like. But I don't really get into my...
Yeah, you too close to the situation, man. Mother-in-laws always exacerbate these situations. Mother-in-laws they're always going to take up for their daughter 1,000%. They're always going to criticize the guy. If there's any dispute, she's going to take her daughter's side. Mother-in-laws are terrible for relationships, man. Yikes.
My children's relationship.
Martin says one of the red flags came after she served Curtis a 30-day notice to vacate the home. She says her son confronted his brother-in-law about not taking care of his children.
She came to me that night and said, "Why did he say that? Are y'all trying to get me killed?" And that it took me back, and I'm like, whoa, she's never used that language.
Martin says the second red flag came 2 days before the shooting, when Curtis allegedly sent her daughter a series of text messages that read in part, "Answer my call, or I'm going to go to the house and punch your mother in the face," followed by, "I will hurt everyone."
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I feel like we covered that before. Yeah, you did. let's see.
There all afternoon. She joins us now live with the very latest. What do you know, Shay?
Hey, Greg. Yeah, we're here at Horn Lake and Falls where the road is blocked off. I mean, behind me here, you can see the multiple police cars. But what I want to draw your attention to is check this out here. So many evidence markers. We've counted at least 30 just spread across the street. And this really matches up to what witnesses said, saying they heard dozens upon dozens of shots. But take a look at this now. It's starting to get dark out. So I want you to see some video we shot earlier. A lot of the focus seems to be down the street about a football field or so from where I'm standing. That's beyond a fence here. Check out this beyond the fence, just on the street, about a football field away. It's a white SUV. Police tell us this shooting happened around 1:15. Keep in mind, this is a busy stretch of road, Greg, right here in Southwest Memphis. Lots of
Black folk don't care how busy a stretch of the road it is. Make sure y'all hit the like button and support the channel via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat, man. Support your favorite channel that's bringing you the only news, man. Bring you the only news you can, bring you these stories, these hard-hitting stories, man. So make sure you support the channel, man. Sponsor the channel, guys. Sponsor the show. Also, let's get 100 likes up here real fast, man. 100 likes.
people traveling up and down the road here throughout the day. Here's what a witness tells me happened. He says he saw a black car come up along a white SUV. Two people leaned out of that black car with high-powered weapons, shot at the SUV. The SUV then lost control and went into a yard. Now, the person I spoke with who saw that whole thing said it was obvious the shooting was targeted, but people I talked to said with so many shots fired, those bullets really could have hit anyone in the area. And as this crime scene unfolded this afternoon, an elementary school down the street let out. I talked to one man. He's lived in this neighborhood 60 years. I talked to him about what he's been seeing unfold here. As we're talking right now, there are children walking home from school, and they have to see this. What do you think about that?
I think that's horrible because they grown up to an environment like this, and it's unreal. It's unreal. It's sickening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and again, this shooting happened around 1:15. It's 5 o'clock now, so you can see just how long this investigation has been unfolding for, and it's affecting so many people out here really that have to see this unfold. Again, though, we are working to gather more information for you, Greg. No word on who that suspect could be. We'll keep you posted, of course, as we learn more. For your news leader, we're live in Southwest Memphis tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG News Channel 3.
All right.
Reiterate again, however, to you that with this new information,
what's
They're
the new
all
information,
afternoon.
guys? I don't feel like listening to that whole press conference. What's the new information?
And now to this CBS New York exclusive.
Let's go.
A robbery in Queens turned into a deadly fight on the subway. Police say the robbery victim killed one of the alleged thieves. Only investigative reporter Tim McNicholas has video from the incident.
This MTA security video shows a group of 5 men on a Manhattan-bound 7 train just after midnight on December 22nd. Prosecutors say 2 of them stole bags from a sleeping 69-year-old passenger and took them to another subway car. The theft victim wakes up, strikes one of them, and a fight starts, with at least 4 different men at some point either grabbing...
Hold on, what? What happened?
Nicholas has video from the incident.
This MTA security video shows a group of 5 men on a Manhattan-bound 7 train just after midnight on December 22nd. Prosecutors say 2 of them stole bags from a sleeping 69-year-old passenger and took them to another subway car. The theft victim wakes up, strikes one of them, and a fight starts, with at least 4 different men at some point either grabbing or punching the theft victim.
Well,
we can't stand for that in New York.
Oh, wow. These are migrants, man. This ain't us, man. Woo. This ain't us, y'all. This is migrants, man. We off the hook, black people. See, y'all just assumed it was us. Nope, it ain't us. Not this time.
The theft victim.
We can't stand for that in New York City. The subway system's way too important. The subway system.
Juice Crew.
System has to be there for individuals to be able to take in safety and predictability.
The fight continues on the next car, where police say one of the man's bags sat under a seat and another on the floor nearby. The theft victim appears to reach into his bag and grab something. We froze this video just before prosecutors say the victim stabbed two of the men in the group, killing one.
This is a case that almost every.
Yeah, but like, look what happened, man. He's getting his ass kicked, but they still probably gonna try to prosecute him. This woman's probably gonna this Juice Crew woman is probably gonna try to prosecute him anyway.
The men in the group, killing one.
This is a case that almost every commuter or every person who takes the subway can relate to. An individual who is sleeping with his possessions with him and who suddenly gets woken up to a robbery and wants to simply get his property back and protect himself.
The theft victim, who prosecutors say is homeless, is not facing charges. The four men who survived from the group.
Oh, wow. He's not facing charges. That's great. Salute.
5. Henry Toapanta, Oswaldo Walter, Jose Valencia, and Felipe Pena are charged with second-degree robbery and assault.
What's their immigration status? What is their immigration status? You're going to just leave that completely out?
Toapanta, Oswaldo Walter, Jose Valencia, and Felipe Pena are charged with second-degree robbery and assault. Pena and Walter are also charged with attempted gang assault.
They turned something that was a garden variety robbery because someone else killed somebody, and they never went after him. They never arrested him. They never charged him. They kind of let him walk off, even though he chased after people and killed one and wounded another. And they're going after these guys.
My client in particular.
Damn. This is a real Juice Crew guy right here. He want that guy who got robbed to spend the rest of his life in prison.
They turned something that was a garden variety robbery because someone else killed somebody, and they never went after him. They never arrested him. They never charged him. They kind of let him walk off, even though he chased after people and killed one and wounded another. And they're going after these guys.
My client in particular was passive. He didn't seem to have any sort of aggressive role. He committed no assault and he committed no robbery, because robbery has an assault component.
And Tim is here in studio with me. Tim, I know some of those men appeared in court. What happened?
3 of them were arraigned today. One of them, Pena, had already been arraigned earlier this month. He was hospitalized as a result of his injuries, as was that 69-year-old man. So now all 4 defendants, who are, by the way, they're between the ages of 26 and 32, all 4 of them have entered pleas of not guilty now.
All right, so let's talk about safety in the subways. The MTA has touted that every subway car now has a security camera. Yeah. Does that play a role in this case?
So the district attorney in Queens, she said that helped build this case. She was very supportive of those cameras when I talked to her earlier today. And we've heard the governor say this. She said that she hopes those cameras will help solve crimes faster and help keep passengers feel safer.
All right, Tim McNicholas, thank you for bringing us this story.
Video obtained by First Alert 4 Investigate shows the moments 2 former St. Louis cops walked away from a man they'd found in Forest Park. He was shot in the head, but still alive. The officers never tried to help, call for backup, or make sure that other people were safe. Complaint.
Wow. Yeah, man. Hit the like button. Tell me when I got 100 likes, man.
Video obtained by First Alert 4 Investigate shows the moments two former St. Louis cops walked away from a man they'd found in Forest Park. He was shot in the head, but still alive. The officers never tried to help, call for backup, or make sure that other people were safe. Complaints filed against them by the Attorney General's office, calling what they did an act of vileness and depravity. It's a case that we first told you back in November. Now, our chief investigative reporter, Lauren Traeger, is showing us the video tonight that's never been seen publicly, and we do want to warn you, some of what you may see and hear may be disturbing.
5 seconds is the time it takes for two officers to find what they've been called to look for.
Damn, who right there? Somebody right there. Swear to God. No, he ain't dead. He alive.
September 10th, 2023, still sunny in Forest Park at 6:20 p.m. A man lying on the ground, shot, but still breathing.
You shoot himself in the head? I don't know.
That's now former SLMPD officer Austin Frazier. He is not wearing a camera. It's his partner, Ty Warrens, that is rolling. Together, they make a decision.
We better take this motherfucker down. We ain't taking this shit. I ain't taking 30 minutes.
We ain't taking this shit. I get over 30 minutes. God damn. Oh, shit. Yo. Yeah. No way he said that on camera, man. They get so comfortable with them cameras on, they forget.
And lying on the ground, shot, but still breathing.
You shoot himself in the head? I don't know.
That's now former SLMPD officer Austin Frazier. He is not wearing a camera. It's his partner, Ty Warrens, that is rolling. Together, they make a decision.
We better take this motherfucker down. We ain't taking this shit. I ain't taking 30 minutes. Let's cruise around and come back.
A minute and 10 seconds on scene, changing lives forever. Laughing as they walk away from a person and the public who needed them to protect and serve.
It's disgusting. It's really disgusting.
Former St. Louis County Chief Tim Fitch, now a police consultant, had been appalled when we'd first shown him disciplinary complaint documents filed by Missouri's Attorney General, which accuse Warren and Frazier of what the state calls a, quote, reckless disregard for the safety of the public and another person.
Indeed.
And now we've shown Fitch the officer's body camera videos obtained through a public records request.
Certainly, it's even more disturbing just watching the video.
St. Louis police had been called to Forest Park after a call from a person who said they were going to take their own life. Later learning it was 29-year-old Urayuan Rodriguez Rivera. Disciplinary complaint documents say Frazier and Warren arrived on scene and located the man lying under a tree, shot in the head. Neither attempted to render any assistance, neither requested medical assistance, and neither, complaint documents say, attempted to locate a firearm.
Let's cruise around and come back.
Instead, they simply leave, and Warren turns off his camera. But about
too late for that, buddy. Now you want to turn your camera off. Goddamn, son, man.
Attempted to locate a firearm.
Let's cruise around and come back.
Instead, they simply leave, and Warren turns off his camera. But about 10 minutes later, they come back to Forest Park and pretend they hadn't already been there.
522 priority.
Go ahead.
Have EMS respond for one subject, not conscious but breathing. Barely.
A third responding officer immediately calls in the scene.
Yeah, he's snoring.
Assessing the wounds. The man's breathing so agonizing, it's like a gasping for air.
Where's the gun at?
That third officer immediately notices something isn't right.
You got a gun? Can't see one.
As others arrive, they know to secure the perimeter.
Hey, start it way up there and do the whole thing.
Throughout several officers' body camera videos, you see them putting up yellow crime scene tape.
Priority with privacy curtains. We're in a very exposed area of Forest Park.
Calling to block the victim from view in the busy park and keep others away.
Got a pulse still?
They follow protocol and attempt to help.
Super weak, but I feel it.
Even when they know it's bad.
There's not much we can do. Shoot. Yeah, we're going. They still got a pulse.
So those officers did their jobs, and they did their jobs well.
Guy down there by the tree, yeah, gunshot wound through and through. Labored breathing.
EMS officials take Urayuwan to the hospital, but he does not survive.
You've got to wonder if they would have done something right then and there, could he have survived? Certainly when you turn your back and walk away.
Yeah, but he wanted to kill himself. I mean, at the end of the day, man, he was trying to kill himself. So it's like that he didn't want to live.
Chances of that person surviving is going down dramatically by the second.
To you, is it just so wrong on its face?
Yes, absolutely. That's not how most officers would respond to a call like that.
In fact, Fitch says he can think of only one thing.
I think it's just pure laziness is what it was.
On video this time, Warren and Frazier walk away again, leaving their fellow officers to handle it now.
You know, it's up. Warren and Frazier just left.
Why?
I don't know.
Nearly every officer acknowledges the obvious. How is it a suicide with no gun?
ETU is here, so he probably already has the gun.
Nope, no gun. The gun's gone.
What do you mean gun's gone?
The gun is gone. So he could have shot himself, so they came over and took his shit.
I mean,
It wouldn't shock me. Could be somebody dumped him. You never know. I mean, there's St. Louis.
Unless somebody picked it up and chucked it somewhere.
Ultimately, the case was ruled a suicide. Urayuwan had a history of suicidal ideations and had left notes of intent. Still, Fitch says it's very concerning that to this day, no one knows where that gun is, possibly left unsecured by Frazier and Warren.
That's something that they should have done and they didn't do.
did they endanger the safety of other people?
Quite possibly, by not securing that firearm. And they certainly could have endangered the life of the individual.
St. Louis police declined to provide an interview for this story, saying they cannot comment on specific personnel matters, but writing that, quote, appropriate disciplinary action will be taken if an officer is found to have violated policies. Urayuwan's mother lives in Puerto Rico. She cannot believe what our reports have been revealing, telling us in a text message it was a, quote, lack of humanity, saying more, quote, I hope the full weight of the law falls on these so-called police officers. The state has sought to discipline their peace officer licenses, and Fitch says a lawsuit is possible, but criminal charges, he says, are very unlikely.
They just didn't act at all, which is certainly shameful, but criminal, probably not.
No, you did. You left.
It is the body camera video, which we should appreciate, Fitch says. The video that told the whole story. Video that's there to protect the officers and also the public.
A supervisor reviewing the body camera video was the one that discovered that it wasn't handled properly and did initiate an investigation. And that's the way it's supposed to work.
That video telling us what truly happened.
Let's cruise around and come back.
Capturing what otherwise was concealed, the inactions of two officers.
Now, regarding that missing gun, police tell us their investigation into the stolen firearm remains ongoing, and they are actively monitoring their database to see if it is being used in any crimes. To date, there have been no hits to that database. The police officers, we're told, have left the department not long after this incident last year. They have not responded to our inquiries to talk.
That man said, I get off in 30 minutes, man. Jesus Christ. If you're here, man, we're going to be covering this slavery situation in Libya in shortly, man. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Support the channel, guys. We talking about some shit that can give me a strike tonight, man.
City streets. And then when I came to San Francisco and drugs were very rampant.
Today, we're talking about a plan to stop crime under the cover of darkness with mass arrests.
The thing where the evil starts at 10 o'clock at night.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Elizabeth Cook.
And I'm Ann Makovic. We've all seen the scenes of people looking like zombies on the streets of San Francisco. Open drug use, often leading to petty crime, and a general sense of lawlessness, especially in the Tenderloin. Today, we have a look at some of the changing crime rates and the bold new plan by one city leader hoping to disrupt the status quo. He's going to be joining us live in just a few minutes. In San Francisco, city leaders say that crime is down to a more than 20-year low. That includes drops in property crimes like car break-ins, as well as a 60-year low in reported homicides in the city. In 2024, they say crime overall hit its lowest point since 2001. San Francisco Supervisor Matt Dorsey is looking to maximize enforcement against illegal drug use, meantime, in the city's 6th Street corridor. That is at the intersection of South of Market and Tenderloin neighborhoods. Dorsey says the public health epidemic caused by the rise in fentanyl and meth use is one of the worst in San Francisco history. He says a crackdown against drug-related crimes at the 6th Street corridor could lead to as many as 100 arrests per night. Incoming Mayor Daniel Lurie says this is an issue that has gone on far too long.
It's something that we have to get control over. It's why I'm so committed to getting our behavioral health crisis under control, starting on day one of my administration.
Lurie says cracking down on illegal drug use at 6th and Market will be a priority of his administration. Meanwhile, California's Justice Department found that SFPD was in substantial compliance with its 8-year-long reform plan. SF Police implemented more than 250 policy recommendations that the State Department of Justice oversaw. The police department says the successful reform strategy has significantly lowered crime rates in the city. Well, joining me now to talk about it all is Supervisor Matt Dorsey.
All right, that's enough of that. Wow.
Other news, Bogalusa's mayor bonded out of jail tonight.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. Another day, another black mayor. Another black mayor. It was another black official that got in trouble in another city. I saved that, but I couldn't. Whenever we get in power, man, we sure do know how to screw it up. Man, I tell you. Everybody hit that like button, man. Let's go. What's happening, man?
Just another pillar of the Sun community falls to the ways of the white man.
Well, you got to be shocked by this. I know.
Other news, Bogalusa's mayor bonded out of jail tonight after his arrest this morning in connection to a drug ring.
Andres Fuentes has details on this case.
Tuesday evening at the Washington Parish Council meeting, District Attorney Colin Sims updated the community on major arrests.
There was a large drug trafficking organization yet again operating in this area.
It came just hours after one of the arrestees.
This ain't your man, man. No, that's not your man. Bogalusa. We used to have a guy. Remember that guy, the white dude with the deep voice?
Yeah, country ass white dude with a deep voice.
I forgot his name. What was his name? Damn. But yeah, he's from Bogalusa. This is your man. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
In this area.
It came just hours after one of the arrestees, Bogalusa Mayor Tyron Trong, was released after paying his $150,000 bail. Trong was arrested and
Oh,
booked
this,
with
this the man. Okay.
They were cheering him on.
Yeah. You know that, man. Tyron Truong.
6 other suspects for allegedly selling illegal drugs using the profits to buy.
Oh, man. Nah, you wasn't selling drugs from your office as mayor. Come on, man. Stop this.
Straight Gotham.
Oh, man. There was a mayor up there.
That's not the only thing. He's got a laundry list of shit.
I remember in either Rochester or Buffalo, the mayor's husband was running a drug ring in the city. But this is the actual mayor doing it. This is absolutely insane. Man, is anybody gonna sponsor the show tonight, man? Are y'all gonna sponsor the show? Or is this gonna be a very short show tonight, man? Don't nobody want to sponsor the show, man. Salute to Barry B, man. Barry B, man. Let's see.
Booked with 6 other suspects for allegedly selling illegal drugs using the profits to buy firearms and then giving those guns to people who can't legally own firearms or even people who went to use those.
Yeah. He was buying guns for his enforcers, man. What the?
Yeah. This is Gotham. Like, this is straight up Gotham.
Yeah, this is insane. This is some insane shit, man. This is next level shit right here. Like, you can't even, maybe in a movie, maybe a movie script. This is a script that, they would send it back to you. They would be like, make it more realistic. It's insane, man. Look at him, man. Look at this guy, man. He does look kind of clean cut, man. Jesus Christ. Jesus.
Selling illegal drugs.
How old do you think he is?
Buy firearms and then
he got a little gray on his top of his head, so I give him 38.
He's 25.
giving those guns.
What? Yeah, well, drug dealing is stressful. So it's like...
I think he might be one of the youngest mayors ever. He got elected at 23, I believe, and then this happened.
I have age limits on this type of stuff. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! You gotta be kidding me, man.
Trong was arrested and booked with 6 other suspects for allegedly selling illegal drugs using the profits to buy firearms and then giving those guns to people who can't legally own firearms or even people who went to use those guns in crimes in Bogalusa. Neighbors at today's parish council meeting spoke in support of the mayor until the council ordered them to stop.
My job as DA is to prosecute based upon evidence alone. I don't care who it is.
And over at the jail, more of the mayor's supporters spoke on his behalf.
The charges stinks, and so does the warrant. He's not.
Remember, the what's his name? Trayon White in DC, the city councilman that was taking bribes.
Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah, and they came out in full force to support him too.
Yeah, he had the whole Mammy militia in the city council hall.
This is insane, man. This is absolutely, positively insane. Salute to Gouchman Lowe. She says, salute, I loved your Skip Bayless bit yesterday. Wonder how much he would pay me to be one of his sisters. Yeah, facts, man. Skip is a trip, man. Make sure you check out my other channel, Ock Nation TV, if you want to see those sports videos, man. If you want to see my sports content, go to Ock Nation TV. Link is in the description.
So does the warrant. He's not involved with drugs or prostitution at all.
State police say that they conducted their investigation into the mayor over several months this past spring Attorney General Liz Murrill weighed in on the case Tuesday morning.
He's charged with prostitution charges as well and spending.
Yes, he was pimping and slinging that good, that white.
And guns. Yeah, this is like a TV show script.
And they've been following him, tapping his phone, and fucking they probably got some, definitely got a CI, confidential informant in his crew, then surveilling him.
Yeah, they've probably got a mountain of stuff that they've been building. Like, you don't come at somebody in this type of position without having your shit tight.
Right. They're not the feds. That's the only thing he got going for him.
Right.
But it's still like the state prosecutes a ton of people too. They just don't have the success rate. Jeez.
Tuesday morning.
He's charged with prostitution charges as well and spending public money in relation to this larger RICO case.
Trunk's father says the investigation is politically motivated.
They had the people that don't like him, that's higher power, they got them involved.
And Dad, of course, got gold teeth. Dad got the grill. Chain. Jeez. He screwed this up big time. You supposed to let your family do what they do. You can't be intimately involved with that stuff, brother.
Right. You gotta have like a cousin running this or somebody that's plausible deniability.
How long did he think he was going to do this for, man? Like, did he just think he was just going to, like, be a two-term mayor and just be doing this and just go off into the sun, like, run for governor? Like, what did he think? What the fuck was he thinking?
I mean, dude, I think a lot of these sons think that this is what gliders do. That the reason gliders have wealth is they just get into a position where they have access to funds, whether it be, a company's funds or public funds, and they can just do whatever they want. That's not how it works. You still got to live by your salary or, whatever profits you as a company owner are allotted. You can't just do whatever you want.
Yeah, man, this is crazy, yo. This is a banana story.
Case.
Trunk's father says the investigation is politically motivated.
They had the people that don't like him, that's higher power, they got them involved in this.
This is a conspiracy against him. I say it now and I'll say it forever. He's not guilty of any of these charges.
Murrill says more arrests could soon come.
It is an ongoing matter, and I think that you'll continue to hear us address problems in the city of Bogalusa.
Now, state police say that during today's arrest of Mayor Trung and the other suspects, troopers seized opioids, high-grade marijuana, THC, and MDMA.
Bogalusa's mayor is out of jail tonight after an early morning arrest. Mayor Tyron Trung was booked on multiple charges, including drug trafficking and soliciting prostitutes. Officials say this was the result of a months-long investigation into an organization that was...
Yo, you can't come out of court with these people, man. They just don't look right, man. It's a bad look to just, because like if you would have came out of jail with like, I don't know, man. It would look just like we some white people. You gotta hire like some white people. Hey, come down here and walk with me as I leave jail. Just some shit. Like this just look like this make it look janky and hood. Like who the fuck is this thing?
This is his buddy from the gas station.
Hey. Salute to Mark Ishmael, man. Shout out to Mark Ishmael. Damn.
Drugs through social media. Multiple other people were also arrested, but many of Trunk's supporters believe he is innocent.
Tonight, the city council held its previously scheduled meeting. Our Whitney Miller was there and has reaction from residents and leaders in Bogalusa.
Yeah, tonight's city council meeting had previously been planned in advance of today, and it didn't originally have anything to do with this arrest, but the district attorney did come out and make an announcement which caused quite a reaction from the residents here in Bogalusa.
I don't want that to happen to our mayor. You guys are going to say it's racketeering and going to just pick up all these people for no reason, and that's wrong.
A passionate reaction.
Like
what was the last part she said?
Piggy said, call it racketeering and picking them up for no reason, and that's wrong. Like, what did you look at the findings of the investigation, man? Like, what is she basing this on?
Nothing.
Right.
I'm madder than you guys are, therefore I'm right.
That works in the jungle, but this is the white man society. You gotta they might cave to you after a while. Who knows? Your sister.
I don't want that to happen to our mayor. You guys are going to say it's racketeering and going to just pick up all these people for no reason, and that's wrong.
A passionate reaction Tuesday after District Attorney Colin Sims addressed residents of Bogalusa.
My job as DA is to prosecute based upon evidence alone. I don't care who it is.
Sims says that evidence shows Mayor Tyron Trung was a part of a large drug trafficking organization.
I know many of you are upset about a particular arrest. I am not here to comment about any one individual or anything else, or the evidence or anything else regarding anyone in particular. But it's one of 20.
Despite the alleged evidence, the arrest isn't sitting well with the community.
And this mayor is trying to straighten things out and make things better. The crooks don't want him to take over. They want to keep doing.
It's like something with the sun mind. It's just everything is just flip flop. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm a son. That's the only reason I kind of get it, because I'm actually a son. So I got those brain parts, man. I think it's just, it's kind of like when you watch gangster movies, don't you root for the villain, or do you root for the antagonist? Protagonist if he's a gangster. Do you do that?
I mean, maybe if they portray his storyline in the right way, I guess you can.
Yeah, so it's like that, but it's like we do that. That's just the way you do in a movie. Like that's kind of like, okay, I'm watching a movie, or I like this character. We're like on that all the time. Like the most popular people in our neighborhoods. Like if you're a kid, like if you're in that what's that, like junior high school or middle school to high school, the most popular kids in the neighborhood are gangbangers and drug dealers and bullies and shit like that. In fucking elementary school, it's the same. It's like this is like DNA. It's intrinsic to us. You know what I mean? To support degeneracy and people that are like, a lot of slave traders in Africa back in what colonial or pre-colonial Africa or the Middle Ages, Africa's Middle Ages, those people were huge figures in their communities. The slave traders.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an obsession with power, no matter what the consequence or cost is.
Exactly. Yeah, a very what do you call it? A very based approach to power, where it's any kind of like moral or altruism or red lines, cut cards.
If you're in power, that's all that matters. It's like you're obviously a winner and you're a positive influence if you're in power. It doesn't matter what the actual outcome is.
Yeah.
Unity. And this mayor is trying to straighten things out and make things better. The crooks don't want him to take over. They want to keep doing what they're doing. They don't like him because he's doing what's right.
DA Sims says the arrest was the result of a long-time drug investigation that just so happened to incriminate Trung.
But the evidence that was collected, the evidence that was reviewed.
So they weren't looking for him. This was just the part. They were just investigating, doing a drug investigation.
And then they were like, wait a minute. This the address to the mayor's office. What the fuck? Tap his line real quick. Oh shit.
They were surveilling a trap house, and then they were looking through there, taking their pictures, looking through their binoculars and shit. They were like, "What the fuck is that? The mayor coming out of there with a big duffel bag?" Like,
Yeah.
God damn, man.
Collected,
I'm
the evidence that was reviewed.
I'm no wizard, but those look
led
like
to
prostitutes that are with him.
Jesus,
Oh wait, are those guns?
Standing on the corner with a big top hat and some goddamn a suit and shit, the goddamn cane and shit with a diamond encrusted handle and shit. Just walking around like, yeah, baby, where's my money, bitch? Like, what the fuck is going on, man?
That incidentally.
Keith Merrill says Mayor Trung is being singled out.
They didn't like him exposing them. So this here is retaliation.
Like, who did he expose exactly?
People that's people that yo, it's gonna be a racial thing too. This town is all black, nothing but black people in power except for the DA. I'm glad they got a white DA. But a lot of black people in power down in this town. I know they're gonna put the race up. Jesus Christ, man. This nigga.
This here is retaliation. I said it and I'll say it again. It's a backlash from him standing up for what was right and exposing these good old boys.
In Bogalusa, Whitney Miller, WWL, Louisiana.
Jesus Christ.
This is breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes. Thanks for joining us. Breaking at this hour, the mayor of Bogalusa, the youngest in the city's history, gets arrested and now faces some serious charges. At noon, the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office releasing the mugshot of Tyron Trung. Fox 8 Rob Masson. He is live right now. The charges the mayor now faces. Rob.
Yeah, Liz, we're coming to you live from the Bogalusa City Hall, where state police just arrived about 15 minutes ago. About a half dozen troopers went into the City Hall annex, and they are executing search warrants around Bogalusa in this wide-ranging scheme. The street here in front of the Bogalusa City Hall is blocked off by Bogalusa police. There are a lot of residents gathered around here, somewhat in shock at these developments, because they believe Mayor Trung is a very popular mayor and someone who they believe has been facing a lot of opposition here in Bogalusa since he was elected as the state's youngest mayor about 2 years ago. But now he is sitting in a Franklinton jail, charged in a scheme involving as many as 11 others. About a half dozen members of the Louisiana State Police came to City Hall just a short while ago, now executing those search warrants. The state police says the Violent Crime Task Force had been looking into allegations for the past year. They allege that Tyron Trung and as many as 10 others are involved in a scheme to use social media to distribute controlled dangerous substances like opioids,
Posting it on the gram. Wow.
Oh man. Come on, man. This can't be real, man. This can't be real, man. Oh man.
So who you need to have like a runoff vote of who's the sunniest elected official at the end of the year or something, who's gonna win it.
Yeah, I think you got a candidate, man. If somebody beats this guy out, I mean,
the list is growing, and it seems that the depravity keeps climbing in degrees. So, I mean, it could be an interesting runoff by the end of the year.
Yo, Tiffany Henyard, this guy makes her like she looks normal. Like all the shit she did, like just in the open, flaunting it in everybody's face, that looks normal. This is insane.
Yeah.
This is
Like you said, this is literally some kind of movie script. Some sort of mobster. We're going to take over the city and, do cocaine off of hookers on the mayor's desk.
this may have worked in the 80s or the 90s, but there's so much surveillance. There's so much, like, the world is so smaller because of technology. And you're doing it online. Like, yo, what the fuck? You're slanging on social media as the mayor? Did he take some drugs? Was he like bagging up the shit and the shit got in his bloodstream or something? Like, what the fuck?
Byron Trung and as many as 10 others are involved in a scheme to use social media to distribute controlled dangerous substances like opioids, high-grade marijuana, and ecstasy. The allegations also include charges related to the use of public funds to procure a hotel room involving a prostitute. The Attorney General's office says they are determined to crack down on public corruption, but some Bogalusa residents are skeptical.
Lee Tyron has the capability of dealing with prostitution. He has a beautiful girlfriend, has a child.
Never mind. Case closed. He has a girlfriend. There's no way he could pay for a prostitute.
Right, man. I like my politicians married too. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, they still gonna do this, whatever, but just a better look. A prostitute a politician that's not married is always a big problem, man. You need to present that stability. I need my damn at least to go home and pretend like he's don't living a family life, like what this single and shit, 25 and single, and the fucking mayor. Oh shit, man. Make sure you guys support the channel. We got one super chat tonight, man. We had 4 the other night, man. Make sure y'all take the $5 challenge, guys, man. Support the channel, man. We ain't in no recession, man. I watch all YouTube. I watch everybody. We ain't in no recession. Make sure y'all support the channel. Take the $5 challenge, man.
Are skeptical.
Lee Tyron has the capability of dealing with prostitution. He has a beautiful girlfriend, has a child. He's from a great family. He's always been
He's from a great family. Yeah, Gold Teeth Dad, man. Listen, man, Gold Teeth Dad did some time. So we already know his dad went to prison, man. I guess everything's relative, man.
Upright young man. He has his head on his shoulders. That's not something that he would put in his past.
Yo, think about who she's describing. Listen, if that was who she was describing, right, there would be no way the police would be doing an investigation on some drug dealers and shit, and he pop up. There would be no way if he was upright and just this great person. You can't just pop up in that investigation by accident. Nah, man, no way. This guy is bad to the bone, man. Salute to Barry B, man. Barry B in the building, man. Barry B, big time supporter from 2024. He says, I'm Barry B on PayPal. Wow, the son mayor of Bogalusa say them good old boys, white folks set him up. He innocent. Yeah, good old boy is a dog whistle. It's definitely a dog whistle for white people.
Like what is the what about Bogalusa makes it, you know, a target of the good old boys? Like what is going on in Bogalusa that
Well, they
he could
already
possibly?
no, they got the mayor of New York. So like, and they said they had the list. New York, Bogalusa was next on the list.
Right. Bogalusa, the Bogalusa mayor's office is a threat to some serious shit.
New York population 10 million, Bogalusa population 5,000. So you know we gotta after we get the mayor of Bogalusa, then we gotta get think about it. They haven't even. This is how hard it is to get prosecuted if you don't really have nothing on you. They haven't prosecuted Tiffany Henyard yet, because although the stuff she's doing is abhorrent and it's just mind-boggling, they can't figure out the right charges for those things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, if they could have got her for embezzlement or money laundering, trust me, they would have. They're not just throwing charges on black mayors, man. He did something.
Lee Tyron has a capability of dealing with prostitution. He has a beautiful girlfriend, has a child. He's from a great family. He's always been a upright young man. He has his head on his shoulders. That's not something that he would put in his past to taint his record for his future.
I think it's a tragedy. You know, people had a lot of hopes in him as a young up and comer who might be able to provide leadership. And certainly that area needs it. And I think it's just, you know, it's disappointing. It's beyond disappointing when a public official lets you down that way.
And that was Attorney General Liz Muriel speaking in New Orleans just a short while ago. Her office actively involved in this investigation. Washington Parish DA Colin Sims says many search warrants are still being executed. In fact, that is what's going on here at Bogalusa City Hall. 3 others have been arrested, but as many as 10 others might also be arrested as the day goes on. I spoke to Mayor Trung's mother just a short while ago. She believes the charges against her son are bogus. She says family members are now at the Franklinton Parish.
In tonight's crime report.
They're gonna end up arresting the whole goddamn building.
Oh yeah, he ain't the only one, man. He ain't the only one. This is so crazy, man. That it's like, do you cover this? Does the mainstream media cover this? Does CBS News, ABC cover this? Do the black channels on social media cover the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked?
No, certainly none of them. You would get a CBS before you get any of them.
They've been covering Tiffany Henyard though.
Really?
They took them a while. They took them a while, but they covered her. But it was more like, oh, look how crazy this is. It was never like indicting her or nothing. It was just like, she need to go. She need to get out of here, man. But if a white person, all it takes is one white person to like, because remember, Tiffany Henyard, it was all black people going after her. Remember, the entire city council was black. Everybody in this situation was black. There was no white players in that Tiffany Henyard thing. This one, it's gonna have the DA's white, the state prosecutor's white. So it's like he's a fucking degenerate drug dealer and a pimp. So I think black folk might, even if they cover it, if they take it on, they'll be taking it on. It's like, man, look how they railroaded this young brother, man. He ain't even do nothing. So, yeah. They might take it on like that. Shout out to Andy Armour. Andy Armour in the building, man.
In tonight's crime report, a big one. The mayor of Bogalusa is under arrest.
He's accused in a drug ring investigation. WGN's Jordan Lippincott is at the Washington Parish Jail in Franklin. Jordan.
Kurt Susie, Bogalusa Mayor Tyron Trong was arrested by Louisiana State Police this morning and booked into the Washington Parish Jail. We're expecting his release any moment now after posting a $150,000 bond. About half a dozen Louisiana State troopers arrived at Bogalusa City Court Tuesday morning after announcing the arrest of the city's mayor, Tyron Trong. The 25-year-old mayor and 6 others are accused of being part of a drug trafficking organization out of Bogalusa. State troopers weren't the only ones at Bogalusa City Hall.
I'm coming to show my support because he's innocent. He's not guilty of any charges, you know. And I'm gonna back.
Jesus Christ. Not he may have been around the wrong crowd, or he made some poor judgment with the people he hung around. No, he didn't do nothing. Mammies, man. Mammies will show out for you if you're doing wrong. If you're doing wrong, you got a friend in the mammy.
Back him to the end because he's innocent.
Members of the organization allegedly used social media to distribute opioids, marijuana, and MDMA. Investigators believe the profits from the drug sales were used to purchase guns, which in some cases landed in the hands of those who were prohibited from owning a gun. Trong is also being accused of soliciting for prostitutes. However, his supporters believe he's being framed because of racial bias.
Our city has so much racism.
Okay, so this is the girlfriend, and this is the dad. This is his dad. That's the girlfriend. Think about how proud the black people down there were this day. A 23-year-old young black man, elected as mayor. They were so happy that day. They probably were beaming with pride.
This is the next Obama.
Right. Literally thinking stuff like that. Like they were literally, I guarantee you. And it's too much for them to bear. You know what I mean? I can understand. I can see the denial. They're in that first phase, denial, the stage of grief, because they're not even considering that you're gonna do anything.
This is rigged from the jump for them. They don't even need to hear nothing.
Yeah, man, these people going through it, man. Yeah, this was definitely, listen, this was Obama, 23, man. This is all the hope and everything in him, Yeah, man. Oh, man. He went and fucked it up fast, too.
He really fucked it up. Like, he went all in. He went straight, immediately mob boss.
He went Kwame Kilpatrick, man.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, he, got a girl pregnant on the side and then used, money for an abortion or something. No, he's straight up, I'm running everything. We doing it all.
This is my thiefdom, man. My personal thiefdom. Shit.
Because of racial bias.
Our city has so much racism, so much bigotry, so much hatred. There's such a division of white and black, even in the areas that we live.
Yeah, because y'all do all the crime and y'all do all the shooting and the killing, man. And y'all y'all neighborhoods are terrible, and your kids are fucking robbing people, and you don't even fucking know where they are half the time. It'd be fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, you fucking don't even know where your fucking kids are and shit. Your 13-year-olds commit more crime than all the white people in the town combined. Just your 13-year-olds. Your 12-year-olds. If we just took your 12-year-olds, they commit more crime than all of the fucking white people in the town combined. You talk about there's a bunch of fucking racism down there. You fucking kidding me? People are crazy, man.
I mean, I just want somebody to ask one of these supporters. So provide what is the incentive for them framing this guy? Give me some hard talking points.
And who's? Give us some names, man. All this
Yeah, who is doing this for what reason? To cover up what?
There's so much racism, So much bigotry, so much hatred. There's such a division of white and black, even in the areas that we live. That there's so much that it's an embarrassment now.
During a Tuesday press briefing,
Did you say embarrassment? Yeah, there's an embarrassment going on right now, man. It's not the one you talking about. Jeez.
They'll
Man.
probably try to elect someone even fucking worse than this dude just to prove a point somehow.
Oh, do you find nobody worse than this guy?
Gonna have to put out a campaign on the same fucking Instagram account you got busted on.
Shit, man.
Seeking mob mayor
During
willing
a
to
Tuesday-
do mob boss type shit.
press briefing in New Orleans, Attorney General Liz Murrill said additional arrests are likely.
So it is an ongoing matter, and I think that you'll continue to hear us address problems in the city of Bogalusa.
The mayor's supporters credit him for reducing the city's crime and providing resources for children.
They're always about the kids. That's just like the brothers when they get out of jail. I want to help the kids. Yeah,
Somebody in the chat called this watermelon gate.
Facts, man. Facts. No joke, man. Watermelon gate, man. God. Jesus. Hide behind the kids. I'm trying to help the kids, man. And stop crime. You trying to stop crime?
Bogalusa.
The mayor's supporters credit him for reducing the city's crime and providing resources for children.
And if we lose him, we've lost a good thing.
We reached out to a few Bogalusa City Council members. Councilwoman at large Penny Douglas replied via text message, no comments. That council meeting.
And he consolidated on the ground. Yo.
Yeah, he took out you take him out, the city's cleaned up now. That's a hell of a way to look at it. Bam.
Oh,
one shot, one kill. City's clean as a whistle now.
Has already started tonight, and we'll have more on that meeting tonight is at 10, as well as the mayor's release from jail.
Oh, fuck, man. Yo, man.
See, I feel like without the gliders, looking into this stuff, it just would spread.
Oh,
it would just occupy every single, as soon as one office figured out this was going on, then they went in on it and they kind of do their own version. And then, next thing the water board's doing it. And then the damn, sanitation's in on some shady shit. And it's just like a whole maze of bullshit.
Trust me, my man. Unchecked. Yeah, it would get so bad that you wouldn't even be able to turn it back. You wouldn't be able to roll it back. It would be, those African countries. Think about this, man. Look at what he's doing with a town of 5,000. Look what Tiffany Hendricks is doing with a town of, I think, 20,000, Thornton, whatever township or whatever that. What's the other township? She was charging 2,000.
Mayberry or some shit. I don't know.
Some shit. One was Thornton and the other one was goddamn. I can't believe I can't think of the name. Dalton, and and like, look what they did with those little.
Yeah, running up millions of dollars tab.
I mean, and then look at what Mayor Eric Adams is doing, like what he's charged with doing in New York. With, I mean, it's like little towns, medium-sized towns, small town. It don't matter, man. We are unfit, man, for those type of roles, man. We unfit for that, man. We just we cannot be trusted.
Bonded out the young
do the right thing. It just ain't gonna happen.
Youngest mayor in state history, making headlines for the wrong reasons today, as Tyron Trong now finds himself at the center of a criminal investigation. The 26-year-old mayor.
26. So he's 26 now. Salute to Eric S. Man, Off Nation Hall of Famer coming through once again. Shout out to my man Darren, man. Darren in the building, man. Shout out to you, man. Salute to my man Herman. Herman in the building, man. Salute to you, Herman, man. Appreciate you, man. Man. Man, oh man. Darren says son self-destruction, biblical amounts. Yeah, it's epic, man. That young man wet the bed, man.
Spent the day in jail facing charges of solicitation of prostitution, drug trafficking, and gun charges. And new tonight, the district attorney says Trong is just part of a larger puzzle working to defraud the city. And now the city of Bogalusa looks for a way forward if these charges end up in convictions. WDS reporter Jonah Gilmore is live in Bogalusa with the latest and the council that just had a meeting tonight. Jonah?
Yeah, Sala, tonight's city council meeting was already scheduled to take place, and although the city council did not address the mayor's arrest, the district attorney and community felt it was appropriate to acknowledge.
The mayor's on his way home. He should be here in about 30 minutes.
And within minutes...
Thank you, brother. We're going to make this right.
1,000% support from the black community, it seems like, man. Because the young people in this town are fucking maniacs. They're all fucking gangbangers and carjackers and shooters and shit. So they're not civically active. But I guarantee you, the people who are active in the civics or the politics, he has 1,000% support.
Look at the hard R all over the face of that white man in the back.
Could you imagine being a black person in this town and being like, well, what if he did it, guys?
Say what? You ain't my constituency.
I mean, just hypothetically, guys. Like, you ever think like?
Do we have we seen? Has anybody seen the evidence that they've collected? It seems like they have a lot of talking points. Maybe it's hard to believe that all of those are inaccurate. What do y'all think?
Jeez, man, that word you might have to leave town, Jack. Wow.
Of that comment, Bogalusa's Mayor Tyron Trunk left the Washington Parish Jail.
No comment.
Tuesday, many of the mayor's supporters addressed the city council.
I'm concerned about y'all arresting 20 and 30 people at a time and saying that you have committed crime.
Hours after he was arrested by state police on charges related to a drug and prostitution investigation.
It was unbelievable.
It's a setup.
I believe it was about 20-some cars. It don't take that much to get a lot.
So they're like, why take 27 cars? What that got to do with what he did?
Obviously, too many cars means something's off.
Yeah,
better break into all those cars and see what's in them.
Yeah, man. Let's focus on how many cars the police used when they made
anything over 17 cars. My red flags start going off.
Yeah, that's definitely white supremacy there, man.
One man.
According to state police, the investigation began in April when their Narcotics and Violent Crime Task Force learned of a drug trafficking organization operating in Bogalusa.
7 of 20 were arrested.
District Attorney for the 22nd Judicial District, Colin Sims, says the mayor...
Look at them blue eyes, man. You can tell he a racist, man. He blue-eyed devil.
So the gliders in the deep south are not necessarily on this whole woke train of the Polo Sons. Like we have some DAs like this that will absolutely go after you.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't give him any choice though. He's pimping and
Yeah.
selling smack on social media. Like,
Yeah, I wonder how many times like they were listening in on this, like, and he's doing this, and like they just like huddled around this little throw their arms like, oh my God.
he was embarrassing them though. Like he had other police departments looking at him like, damn, y'all y'all let him do all that. Like, well, you know, I mean, we turn a blind eye to some shit, but Jesus, what's going on down there, man?
You got dead hookers laying in the lobby of the city hall.
This is embarrassing, man. He forced their hand. They probably didn't want to take that guy down. The next Obama, they probably didn't want to take him down, man.
Yeah, they probably had a talk with him early on, like, all right, man, look, this is how we run it. This is how we do it. Look, you take a little off here, we get a little here, and then he just turned around and just went blah, buck wild.
Yeah, man. They definitely tried to warn him, man. Somebody put a bug in his ear because you ain't the mayor and you don't know an investigation going on. Somebody was probably like, "Yo, is you involved with anything?" Like, nah, man. What you mean? Like, all right, just keep your nose clean because I'm hearing some things. And he probably was like, "Man, when he went, Jesus Christ, man." Like, if you're involved with anything, man, you cut ties with it. I mean, whatever other people are doing, it's none of your business. Just make sure you ain't, there's no entanglements, no tentacles leading back to you. That son, man, couldn't do that, man.
Alan Sims says the mayor is just one piece of this investigation. He claims more arrests are on the way.
I know several of you are upset. You have a right to be upset. You deserve better than this. None of this is acceptable.
According to state police, the organization used social media to make drug and money transactions, with some money used to purchase guns linked to violent crimes. While the mayor awaits his court appearance, those who support him say they want answers surrounding his alleged involvement and want them now.
We're very grateful for.
Yeah, but like, okay, they're going to give you the charging documents. You know they're going to do that. Like, they demand this stuff that's like, there's no way they're not going to fucking do a press conference and read all the charges. And we want it now, though. We don't want it like in a few days. We want you to do it right now.
Where's the body cam footage? They always like that body cam footage, even though that doesn't even apply here. Where's the recordings?
For this mayor, and it's just ridiculous.
Tonight, we did ask about the next steps if the mayor's caught up in this investigation.
What's your thoughts, Cool Cat, man?
Hey, yo, nation, how you doing?
What's happening, man?
To answer your question, man, this is not a surprise. I mean, everywhere that it's run by sons, it's terrible. So I'm not shocked. I mean, from Chicago to New York to Milwaukee. I mean, so and this look at this picture right here. I mean, this don't look like no mayor to me. This guy looks like the guy who stole my wallet last week. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell no. That's your mayor.
He gangster, man. He did look presidential in some of them other pictures, though. I mean, mayoral in those other pictures.
Man, it's just I don't know, man. Why is it that like some men they get into power, they got money, they don't gotta do crime no more, but they still do it. I never understood that.
DNA, man. DNA, man. Inability you control, like self-control, and the ability to execute it wrong too. Like right. So yes, we lack self-control to be like we got the mayor. You kind of got the coffers strings, the purse strings of the city, or you're like high up enough that you're above the treasurer, you're above the people with the purse strings. You can city contracts and everything, and you can. It's very hard to not dabble in that. And then you have the inability to execute. So like he couldn't even make it to his 30s, man.
He should make it.
He caught up
Hell no.
caught up in something that did like they it's not like they were going after him.
True.
So it's like they were just doing a drug investigation in the city and he pops up. That's like that's like total ineptitude. Like you can't keep yourself detached from that shit. You can't keep yourself like I'm the mayor. Like even if it was whispers around City Hall, like you up to something. But to catch you in the it's like that time. Remember they busted that that massage parlor. I think it was down in Florida.
Oh, Andrew Gillum.
Nah, Robert Kraft, the owner for the Patriots.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They weren't even trying to get him. They just
That's
busted
true.
the massage parlor, and his ass was in there.
Yep, I saw the news while I was on shift. That was
It's
crazy.
it's like what I'm saying. That's this guy, man. It's I can't make sense of it. I'm not gonna try to, man. Something is wrong with Sons, man. Something's wrong with us, man. I mean, really, really wrong.
It's just because I honestly think that anybody else, and I'm gonna say black people because it's not all, but like most people would think, okay, I'm a mayor, I'm gonna lay back, do my job, just get paid, and but definitely not go to jail. This guy does the complete opposite. Like, what the fuck?
It's so baffling, man. He was a young guy. The Democrat Party is looking for people like him. They could have probably had him as a state senator for a few years. Like, yo, just go be a state senator for 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 um for a few years. Then we'll run you for governor, or not even governor. They probably would have ran him for like maybe mayor, maybe something, and then after he
Be an
did that,
assistant.
yeah, like maybe lieutenant governor. Put him in lieutenant.
Yeah.
Then by the time he's 35, they would have ran him for governor, and then next, once he turned that magical number, what is it, 42? They could have ran him for president.
I think
Yeah,
35 is president too.
35? Oh yeah,
you
35.
could be president. Yeah, 35. Yeah, that's the minimum.
Yeah, they
If
could
I'm not
have.
mistaken.
They could have. He had a bright future, man. He wouldn't have had to be good at any of that stuff. He would
Nope.
have just had to do it.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying?
Just show up.
Yeah.
Literally, all he would have to do is get dressed in the morning, show up, read some notes, and then okay, I'm out. And he would have got fucking 80% approval rating. Like, how the fuck?
He
But
screwed
hey,
it up
yeah,
already.
already. So imagine if he would have been like governor or something. It would have probably been even worse. Because Louisiana's already this is in Louisiana, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
Louisiana's already very fucked up as far as like their water and a bunch of other shit. So it's like,
Talking about Mississippi, but yeah. This is
yeah.
right on the Mississippi line, though. This is Bogaloo is on the line with Mississippi and Louisiana. It's right on the Mississippi line. I know it's not on the Mississippi. Is it on the Mississippi? Yeah, it is on the Mississippi River. Yep. It's right on the Mississippi River. Yeah.
I just know the states are close. I'm not like 100, but I
Yeah,
know that they're. But I just want to say salute to the chat though. Much love to the chat. And Ak, how's the family been, man? How you been?
oh man, everybody's cool, man. I can say that, man. Everybody's cool, man. I'm happy, man. Everybody's cool, man. How about you, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. You know, it's is it cold up there?
Oh yeah, it's Pennsylvania. It's fucking freezing right now, man. It snowed. It doesn't even like drizzle up here. It drizzles snow. Like it's just like it'll snow here and it'll just be like a light dusting. You'll look out the window and it'll be like just snowing. And then like 10 minutes later it'll be not snowing anymore. That happens like several times a day. It just snows here, man. And nobody here from Pennsylvania, it doesn't bother them. Nobody is concerned about it. They all used to it.
How long you been living in PA?
4 years, man.
And
Four
you're
whole
used to
years.
the
Yeah.
cold by now, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's cold up here, man. But it's not. It's not like the Midwest. But it's like it's as cold as it gets on the East Coast, man. Um, Fucking cold, man. Yeah, it's cold as hell right here. And I'm in the basement too, man. Make sure y'all take the $5 challenge. Support the channel, man. Support the channel, guys. We getting into some high fucking science here, man.
Away in prison than a here. And I'm not going to be much longer with y'all. I understand we need to move beyond color. I'm not about that, but y'all raised it. If you start it, I'll end it for you. Don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. But we got a problem. Black people got a problem. Now we can move to color blindness and always look at the man by the content of his character, never the color of his skin. I'm down for that. You get my vote. Yay and amen. I'm for that. But before we get there, we need to hear some truth. Black people and white folk. Black people got a problem. And it's a God problem. When black people see the world, I don't care. You can train them. You can train a black man to be a physician. You can train him to be an astrophysicist. You can train him to be a lawyer, but you can't train him to understand the world. He doesn't know. I'm telling you. There's not 2 cents worth of difference between a mass murderer. There's not 2 cents of difference between a petty thief that's locked away in prison than a black doctor when it comes to understanding the world. Listen, you listen to me. We got to deal with this. And we need to begin to acknowledge it, talk about it, ask God to help us, because only God can help black people where they are. Black people had Africa, that big old continent over there. They never built one boat that was seaworthy. Not one. There's not one monument in Africa, in all of Africa. I know you're talking about Egypt. Egypt is not Africa. There are no great cities that were built. Even before the first colonization of white people coming to the shores of Africa or the slave ships, black men built nothing. No sewer system, no houses above one level, and none of them made out of stone. All of them made out of grass and wood. Black men, before the white man ever got to Africa. The worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa was when they gave it to Nelson Mandela and black folk. That was a great nation. Now, notwithstanding apartheid was wrong, we all know it's wrong. I'm against it. There should have been some other resolution, though, than turning it over to Nelson Mandela. Disease, AIDS, and crime is running wild in Johannesburg. They're killing one another over there. They're dying of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation. They don't know how, and we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop shucking and jiving. We got a problem. Nigeria produces oil every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem, black folk. And forget about Zimbabwe and South Africa, Nigeria. Look at what y'all have done in Harlem. You can't even hold on to Harlem. We got a problem. Black folk don't understand the world. You can get mad with me all you want. You can say what you, but you can't prove me wrong. Now, I'm not saying this because I hate black folk. I'm saying it because I love you enough to tell the truth. And the only person going to ever help us get out of the situation is going to be God. There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. He does not understand the world. He doesn't. I don't care if he learned medicine. He doesn't understand the world. He can't even hold on to Harlem. When he was here, he moved out. We got to talk to the Lord. People, we got to talk to God. And black women, Shirley Chisholm, Harriet Tubman, Coretta King, one of her boys. Yeah, okay, then we got a black president. But you black women, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all gonna let that white woman, what's wrong with you black women voting for Barack? Don't you understand? It should have been a black room if you're gonna have a black president. What's wrong with you? Y'all ain't got no sense, you black women. Your men treat you like the dogs, like your dogs. They walk all over you. They make you pay the bills at home. And then the preachers pimp you in the churches and make you pay the bills. Y'all crazy black women buying these black men private jets, the tune of $50 million for a nigga to ride around in a private jet. And you talk about, look at our pastor. What's wrong with y'all women? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And what's wrong with a black man that would take that kind of money out of a poor neighborhood and buy himself a private jet? What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, black women? What's wrong with you voting for Barack Obama? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy. Black people, let me tell y'all something. If you don't ever hear me say preach again, they can kill me tomorrow. But let me tell you something. We're not going to ever get anywhere until we look into the mind of a black man. He doesn't think correctly. I don't care what he is. He can be a doctor. He can be an astrophysicist. The nigga ain't got no sense. You talk to him. You talk to a black man. He doesn't understand the world. He's never built anything. The most the black people have ever done, they did it here in America under white people's help. When they were in Africa, they didn't do nothing.
All right, thank y'all for coming. We'll see y'all next week.
$50 million for a nigga to ride around in a private jet. That's my favorite part, man.
You need to put what's wrong with you on a t-shirt.
You know what happened, right? Creflo Dollar.
Yeah, Creflo Dollar. Yep, that nigga. Yo, if I knew it was that much bread and preaching, nigga, I would have became a preacher. I would have took that shit serious, man. My fucking
He talking about this guy.
I told some of my glider coworkers about this guy a while back, and they couldn't believe his name was Creflo Dollar, and the fact that he like pours the money out in front of everybody.
Administrative evangelist Creflo Dollar has stopped seeking donations for a luxury private jet. Last week, a video on the ministry's website asked people to help the ministry buy a Gulfstream G650 airplane, an airplane valued at $65 million. The video said that if all of the ministry's partners sold $300 each, they'd be able to acquire this jet in a very short period of time. The video has since been taken down, and Dollar's publicist said
he wanted 300 from everybody. Man, I can't even get y'all to hit the Cash App, man. I can't even get y'all to hit the Cash App over here, man. What's going on?
You know it's because it's
it's the economy.
You gotta. It's your background. If you had a better stage and lighting and shit.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a lava lamp.
You got a lava lamp and that.
A lava lamp.
The white girl LED strips on the trim.
Hope you get a lava lamp, y'all.
Creflo Dollar Ministries jet is offline tonight. Earlier this week, a video on the web explained the works of the mega church and why he needed a new Gulfstream G650. The video says that their
What?
30-year-old jet no longer works. Each of Dollar's followers were asked to give $300 to buy the new one. Now, multiple reports criticize the campaign. Critics say a dollar is worth an estimated $27 million. And the average income in College Park, the home of his World Changers Church, is just over $29,000 a year. Even though the site is offline, they are still accepting donations. And of course, this is one of our.
Of course.
Yo, this nigga, y'all done got this nigga a $65 million jet. God damn.
Yo, what a scumbag. He's asking people he knows that are poor
Dollar owns
for
this
money.
Yo, if I give a nigga 300 for a $65 million jet, that nigga better be able to, like, conjure Jesus up on sight. Let me
He
talk to
better
this
give
nigga
me
personally, bro.
he better give me a fucking ride.
Yo, none of this stuff got anything to do with Jesus, man. Shout out to John.
For real.
This
Hey, he better
this is the last thing on this guy's mind.
Yo, he better at least give them people a ride, like yo, like something, bro. But him being a son man, he wouldn't.
No, hell nah. But listen, he wouldn't. He not asking for a fucking passenger plane. He asking for 752. He asking for the best private jet they got on the fucking line. That shit probably seat 10 people maximum. Maximum.
His ministry has prospered with satellite churches in at least a dozen states and hundreds of thousands of online followers.
I am the resurrection.
Dollar owns this multi-million-dollar
Like,
mansion
what the
and
fuck is he
condo.
talking about?
In March,
For real.
his website asked the faithful to help him buy something else.
To give contributions of $300 or more.
A $65 million Gulfstream G650 jet, the top of the line in luxury air travel. One church member, Mary Jones, plans on answering the pastor's call, even though she rides the bus.
No way.
Like, people are so stupid.
I bet she's on welfare too. So, bitch, where the fuck you getting this money from? Like,
I mean, and this mostly works. I feel like I hope that with younger people, like my age group, that we can break this. Like, I'd like to think that we are gonna be the ones to Well, I mean, he looks kind of old, like 40s. But
how
if
do
we
you
could break
fish?
this, I'm a young millennial.
Or
But,
like 30?
Man.
Um,
Man, how fucking old are you, man?
no, don't worry about it.
Jesus.
I'm 33.
Millennial goes up to 96, so he could be my age, or
I mean, I don't mind saying I'm 30.
I could be 15. You really don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I
I
don't
was
mind saying. I'm just asking, but I'm 33 myself. I was just curious. Like,
Well,
I'm
no,
the
I'm just
latest.
saying. I just hope that young people can see through this enough to where these guys start going bankrupt.
Don't bank on it. Don't bank on that, man.
I know a lot of the boomers really like sending these guys money.
I mean, society is becoming less less religious over time. It's becoming more secular, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't think guys like this are gonna be, you know, begging for donations anytime soon, though.
It goes in waves, though. Like the country, it may be getting less religious right now, but then the debauchery. When the country gets less religious, then you get shit like all this trans stuff, and then the backlash to that stuff is going to be the country becoming more religious.
Right, and plus these guys, with the proliferation of the internet, they can pull money from other dumber people in third world countries that don't understand the grift.
No, they understand. Over third world Nigeria, they got some pastors that'll make Creflo Dollar seem like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like you can suck money out of those people. It's like a whole new wave of idiots.
yo, I saw a documentary in Nigeria of people who are living in, severe poverty, giving money to a fucking guy who's got like 3 Mercedes.
Oh yeah, we're talking about poverty. Like this woman
Yeah.
is poor.
US
This
dollars
woman
or
is
more.
A six top
very
of the
well
line,
off.
though she rides the bus 20 miles every Sunday to Dollar's Church.
We
Hell
support our
no.
pastor. That's what we're here for. The work that he do and where the Lord have him traveling, he doesn't need a cheap airplane. He need the
My
best.
grandmom used to
Dollar
like
later took
Creflo
down the
Dollar.
video after the jet.
My grandmom used to love
The
Creflo
best.
Dollar.
Hey.
Yeah, I've got older
But Dollar
gliders in my family that not Creflo specifically, but some of the other
Billy Graham.
mega.
Yeah, she used to watch him.
Billy Graham, Joyce Meyer, I think one of them's name.
Oh yeah, Joyce Meyer. Yep.
Yeah,
Joel
love it.
Osteen.
No, they don't like Joel. Joel's
Nah,
too.
he's a scam.
Too, yeah, well, I mean they all are, but he's too
Yeah.
feel goody.
Yeah. So
Nah, but
She used to love TDJ. Oh, my fault, bro.
Oh, he said, please take my picture down. All right, you he said, please take my picture down. All right, man. Shout out to John on that, man.
Yeah, she used to love
later took down the
TDJ.
video.
All them niggas, man.
Yeah, this dude right here is a slimy guy.
Down the video after the jet request was criticized. Former member Shamora Barnard was disgusted.
What's Pastor Dollar's prosperity gospel really all about?
What is it all about? It's about feeding him. It's about him eating. I'm going to tell you whatever I need to tell you to get you to put money in my pocket.
This isn't the first time Dollar's Church has been under scrutiny. In 2007, the U.S. Senate Finance Committee investigated Dollar and 5 other televangelists for possible tax abuse. Investigators labeled Dollar as the least cooperative. But in 2011, the Senate abandoned its investigation, critics claimed, under pressure from church groups. We wanted to talk to Pastor Dollar. He declined our request for an interview. But a representative for the church sent us a statement
that's
which read,
power,
in part,
dog.
quote, all of the ministry's revenues go to charity and or ministry, with the exception of the salaries and benefits for some 400 employees ministry-wide.
And that
Dollar
private
also
jet.
responded to his critics during a sermon.
If I want to believe God for a $65 million plane, you cannot stop me. You cannot stop me from dreaming.
In Creflo's church, there is no
Yeah, that's
accountability.
crazy.
He runs it as a fiefdom.
Oli Anthony is president of the Trinity Foundation in Texas, a church fundraising watchdog group.
Chairman of the board of Texas Instruments or AT&T, they can have a fleet of jets, but they're not begging for money from people and get a tax write-off in order for them to establish such a lifestyle.
A church.
And that's you see how powerful these religious groups are? Like they got like the IRS. Wasn't that the IRS, right? They were trying to like they got them to like back off. That's great, bro.
They have special bullshit exemptions where they don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
churches don't gotta pay taxes.
Yeah, and that's that's what makes it an awesome grift.
And they're just spouting like Jewish made up nonsense. Like all that stuff is just Jewish myths that never happened.
Salute to all the religious niggas in the chat, but a lot of these niggas grifting the shit out y'all, bro. Just keeping them up.
That's why I believe in God, but no religion. Like I believe there's a higher power, but I don't go with religion because I feel like they all, it's a grift. They all there to take your money.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Make sure you guys support the channel, man. Sponsor the show, man. We about to get into the real shit, man. The real grimy shit, man. I don't know if you two gonna like this, man. Naima Jamal is being held and auctioned as a slave in Libya. Think about this, man. We got a
who the hell is that?
This is in Libya. See, all these are people. So you didn't know they had slavery in Libya?
No, is this like a notable, like, is this like a public figure? Like, who is this?
Yeah.
Nah, they just got it online. They just got like the Arabs ain't like, you know what I'm saying? They not like, they don't care about like hiding it.
No, I was just asking because Like they had their name and shit. Like we're supposed to know who this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's her name. Like that's just her.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you know how sometimes like it take one person to like their story to make it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. So this person is from Africa, right? Like these people are like from the
she's
continent.
Ethiopian. She's Ethiopian,
Wow, that's crazy.
and she
And they
kidnapped in Libya,
got taken to Libya. Damn.
and they
You
got
know,
pictures of her being tortured. They got videos of her being tortured online.
damn poor
Poured
girl.
water on her and beating her and stuff like that. All this online. I'm not showing the pictures of that. I'm not showing the videos of that, of course. But yeah, she's over there. Like this is look at all these slaves with her. Look at all these other navigated slaves with slavery in Libya. Remember, you know, remember we did the video with all them going over to Europe on those fucking rafts and shit,
Yeah.
trying to get
Yeah.
away.
I remember you did that other video, and niggas was online trying to say that shit wasn't real. Them fucking slave auctions. You were I forget which country it was in, but they had all them niggas rounded up.
Libya, this is real.
You know, in Libya there was no slavery when Gaddafi was there, but we took him out because the small hats wanted him out. But this was punishable by death under Muammar
Yeah,
Gaddafi.
the day Gaddafi died, they went around, mobs went around killing. They killed, I think, 10,000 black people the day Gaddafi died.
Yep.
They just went around killing black people,
Hmm.
the native Libyans. But there was slavery in Libya before him. There was slavery in Libya before him, but just not.
Sure, but it was more under control. Now it's just a free for all. Now it's just
Yeah, because this is you got to think that this is like the path you got to take to get to Europe. Like you can't get to Europe without going through Libya because they on the coast
yeah,
of
that's
the
true.
Mediterranean. So it's like they kidnap these people that's trying to go up there, and they like listen to this.
Oh my god. Yo, Muslims, man.
And half these motherfuckers are inbred. That's crazy.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
real.
and all this over made up Jewish bullshit text. Like everybody's fighting over fucking nonsense.
Yo,
These
You
guys
know,
don't know that. They don't know
but,
anything.
but when you're talking about made up text, you mean the Bible or what are you talking about?
Yeah, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, all of it.
You think that's all BS?
Yeah, it's all BS.
Quran is Jewish.
Hmm?
I'm not saying that it's all BS, or it's not mythology, or it's not made up
Yeah,
stories that they stole
yeah,
from.
it's all made up stories, and it like so
You think that
the Torah, the Jewish religion, Christianity is a spinoff of Judaism, and then Islam is a spinoff of both Judaism and Christianity.
Well, they're intertwined because the Quran mentions Jesus, but they don't believe in him as God. But he is mentioned.
He's just a prophet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny too because Christians have more reverence for Jews than they do Muslims, but Muslims have more reverence for Jesus than Jews do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jews and whites share a phenotype. Look at these motherfuckers. These motherfuckers, you can look at these motherfuckers from 10 blocks away and tell they ain't white. Like these motherfuckers some different shit.
Very different.
They like a whole different species than white people, man.
For
Don't
real.
get me wrong, they probably could, be considered white people of their world, but like, nah, these motherfuckers ain't white. Let's see. It says this is Naima Jamal from Ethiopia, who's now being sold and held captive for $6,000 in Libya. Keir Starmer is playing with fire, and he has no idea what Sharia is all about. He is dancing with evils. No one will manage the UK.
He does. I think he does know. He's not ignorant. He's there to serve a purpose, and the purpose is to play a part in dismantling and destroying the West, and that's what he's there for.
Who?
That Keir Starmer guy that had the prime minister of the UK
Yeah.
or whatever his title is.
He's a scumbag. He's over here escalating that bullshit with Russia by sending missiles over there and just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I gotta be careful looking at this, man. But here's the thing. Remember when Joy Reid? This is my thing. Joy Reid, she said that. Hold on, let me pull it up for you guys. A few years ago, she did this when that white girl. Remember when that white girl Gabby Petito was missing? And it was like her and her boyfriend were like chronicling their cross country trip on TikTok and Twitter and shit. And then the boyfriend ended up killing her. And it was a big story because they were, they were like, people were watching. Oh my God, this couple's they're going cross country. They're fighting, and they got into it with police, and the police they had a situation with police, and the girl was all drama. She was full of drama, and then they just went missing. She went missing. And then the boyfriend killed himself and shit. And it was a big thing. And Joy Reid said she was mad because the whole country was kind of like following this story of a white person, And she said America has a missing white woman syndrome. Like they wouldn't care if it was a black woman missing.
Oh my God.
You don't remember that?
No, I do, but this bitch is so annoying. Like, lady. Yeah, exactly. Evil. That's actually the better word. Someone's missing. They're fucking dead for, at the moment no one knew, but still, someone's missing. It doesn't matter the fucking color. I can't stand that bullshit because I work at a hospital. When I see patients, I don't see like black, white, whatever. I just like help. That's it. Like I don't fucking. Oh well, he's a black guy. Nah, I'm not helping him. Like what the fuck? It's
Yeah.
just so stupid.
Salute to Will, man. Will says, Happy New Year, Ock. You got to keep us updated on Watermelon Gate. Oh, trust me.
Watermelon Gate.
We're going to open with Watermelon Gate tomorrow, Will. Trust me. I'm staying on top of water.
You got to, Ock. You're the only one doing it, Ock. You got to do it, man. We with you.
Exactly, man. Make sure if you just tuned in, make sure you rewatch the first hour of the show where we got in the Watermelon Gate and Bogalusa Kingpin, drug Kingpin, Mayor. Watermelon Gate.
Watermelon Gate, not Watergate. Watermelon Gate.
But this should be the biggest story, and this should be a huge story. I mean, a lot of people on X are covering it. I'm not gonna lie, X is all over this. But where's Joy? Like, it's just odd. Like, yo, this should be a huge story. This black woman is being held captive for ransom, and then like the people doing it are so bold that they just letting it be all on, like they posting it on Twitter and shit. And
yep. They have no care, they know there's gonna be no repercussions, so they don't care. They know they're not gonna go to jail or be executed or nothing, so they could give a fuck.
Yeah, you can't tell me that. Oh, because it's that part of the world. Because y'all just shut down all the colleges. And y'all tried to shut down the streets of America over Gaza.
Exactly.
Y'all been stories from that part of the world have gripped this country. Nobody in the mainstream media is going to cover this.
Nobody.
But it's all over. It's all over Twitter. Like Twitter is on it. There's no way they don't see this.
That's a great point, Knock. I've never seen this in the mainstream news, not one time. Not one time have I even heard like a mention like slavery in Libya is ABC something. It's
They
crazy.
tortured her. They have a torture video online of her that I can't show. She's literally, they videotaped themselves torturing a woman.
Damn, poor girl.
And it's everywhere. Like it's not, this is not something that the people are, the, it's just insane. And then she's got a lot of slaves with her too. Like there's a lot of slaves. It's not like it's just her.
The Arabs did much more than torture. You know how they get down.
Yeah. They
Yeah, they would castrate, right? And stuff like
yeah.
that.
No, not just castrate. Shoot.
Yeah,
They gonna ejaculate. Let me say that. Just put it out
yeah,
there.
yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. The whole crew. This is insane, man. Imagine what she's been through. It
Been
says
through.
Naima's fate and that of. Let me just read this article. It says, breaking news: dozens kidnapped for ransom in Kufra, Libya. Naima Jamal is among dozens of victims of Libya's modern slave trade. Naima Jamal, a 20-year-old Ethiopian woman from Oromia, was abducted shortly after her arrival in Libya in May 2024. Since then, her family has been subjected to enormous demands from human traffickers, their calls laden with threats and cruelty. Their ransom demands rise and shift with each passing week. The latest demand is 6,000 for release. This morning, the traffickers sent a video of Naima being tortured. The footage, which her family received with horror, shows the unimaginable brutality of Libya's trafficking networks. Naima is not alone. In another image sent alongside the video, over 50 other victims can be seen. Wow.
Damn.
Their bodies and spirits shackled, waiting to be auctioned like commodities in a market that has no place in humanity but thrives in Libya, a nation where the echoes of its ancient slave trades still roar loud and unbroken. This is the reality of Libya today, writes activist and survivor David Yambio. In response to this atrocity, it is not enough to call it chaotic or lawless. That would be too kind. Libya is a machine built to grind black bodies into dust. The auctions today carry the same cold calculations as those centuries ago. A man reduced to the strength of his arms, a woman to the curve of her back, a child to the potential of their years. Naima's present situation is one of many. Libya has become a graveyard for black migrants, a place where the dehumanization of blackness is neither hidden nor condemned. Traffickers operate openly, fueled by impunity and the complicity of systems that turn a blind eye to this horror. In the world, Yambio reminds us looks the other way. Libya is Europe's shadow, the unspoken truth of its migration policy, a hell constructed by Arab racism and fueled by European indifference. They call it border control, but it is cruelty dressed in bureaucracy.
So this is the white man's fault.
Yeah, it's the white because
Yeah,
the
for
white
real.
man ain't got he got to do something about this.
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
to do something about it, even though it's black people who are
there's no
doing it.
interest in stopping the Libya thing though, because that's how the Juice Crew is getting all of these migrants into Europe.
That's true.
That's the reason they needed to destabilize Libya, because they knew this would be the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
What about what about maybe this is crazy, but what about getting all them goddamn black African nations? I don't know how many of them there are. I know it's probably like at least 30, 40 of them motherfuckers. Why don't you get some of them niggas to come pull up on Libya and get it cracking?
They
They
cowards.
could.
Why the
Yeah,
white
but
They
man gotta
cowards.
exactly.
come from a whole nother continent
For
to help you
real.
niggas out?
They cowards though. They not ready. They don't want that smoke with Libya,
Yeah,
because
they don't.
Libya's gonna start blowing shit up and doing suicide bombs, and you know how the Islam terror is.
Yeah, yeah. They Africa could easily help Libya, but they don't. They don't want that smoke.
They
And they
not
don't
ready.
want to lose a lot of them don't want to lose access to the possibility of getting to Europe.
Yeah.
And also, they don't want to lose money because I bet the juice crew, you know, pays these African countries to look the other way. Like, you know,
Well, listen, the slave trade been going on so long. No Africans ever came over here to get us. No Africans ever came over here with no boats. Hey man, we're all our people. You know, all our slaves, all our brothers. Africans don't really care about like people like that. You missing, you gone, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
never, even back in the day, they never really like, did nothing about the Arab slave trade. That's why the Arab slave trade been going on for 10,000 years.
true.
So because these motherfuckers never did nothing about it. Salute the gentle savage, man. He says liberal black people will constantly complain about what white people have done to them, but will never say anything about or complain as much about the Arab slave trade. Facts. Um, Factoids, man. But yeah,
Hey,
this is a big story though online though. This is huge. Go ahead.
niggas never talk about as much as niggas talk about how bad slavery was. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing how they never bring up the Arab slave trade. Like
Never,
never, never, they never
never.
bring this shit up.
In school, elementary, middle school, all that, I never ever heard about the Arab slave trade until after high school.
You would think Arabs and Negroes never like came in contact with each other.
Exactly. You would think they never met.
Until they open this fucking bodega in the black neighborhood. But if
Yeah,
you look at the
type
way
shit.
Arabs treat blacks, like especially migrant and immigrant Arabs
Hmm.
that just you can tell they not like weren't born here. They do have like kind of like a little like disgust, and like they ain't too hot on black people like that. Even though they
But you
know it's
know,
America and it's different rules and different laws.
but you know that I saw a documentary that fucking Africans they hate African Americans, which is
I don't know
ironic.
about that. I don't know about that, but I just know that, like, because I know a lot of Africans.
Hmm.
I think the problem is Africans will say some shit like, "Why don't like you've been here for so long? Why haven't you? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? Why haven't you achieved this? Why haven't you achieved that in so long?" But as far as hatred, I can't say that I see, and I don't see it from blacks. That I don't think blacks hate Africans. I think they just like what y'all African booty scratches are like they it's ignorance about each other that is so insane that like in the information age that neither group knows too much about the other group. And the African immigrants that you see in America, that's the best of the best of Africa. That ain't your average. And what Africans are seeing when they come here, they're seeing all of African Americans. They're seeing the fucking crackheads, the prostitutes, the dude
Yeah.
waiting for the bus, the shiftless niggas hanging on the corner. But you don't. When
Hmm.
you see an African in America, you seeing somebody who, you know, is either a student on a work visa, historically, you know what I'm saying? And somebody that, is struggling hard to get ends meet so they can send some money back to their family and seem like they're fucking, a big shot. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's two groups looking at each other that from a tainted lens, man. Um,
That's what my boss. He's from Kenya. He's a doctor. That's what he does. Here in the States, he's a doctor, and he sends money over there and stuff like that. And but he told me that like they don't like the culture of African Americans. Like they don't like how they be behaving
yeah,
or like dressing, stuff like that.
it's not their culture, but yeah, it's a different culture. Like African Americans are are Africans are more conservative, right? And African Americans are less conservative, as far as like, you know, they're all Democrats. They're all like for anything, whatever. Like, you want to fucking destroy the neighborhood? Like for instance, if Africans, if Africans had access to white stuff, they would be way more successful on mass than we are. Like we have access to all this white stuff. Like I can literally go to a library tomorrow with fucking tons of books. My little town, there's a library here that is better than the best library in the biggest city in America. And I'm here in a little fucking cow town in Pennsylvania. The train, there's no open sewers. The train, all the sewers, all the shit's flowing down the street, all the shit's flowing through the pipes, but we don't see it. The projects in this town are, if you put them in Africa, they would be a fucking gated community.
Oh
Literally,
yeah,
everything
definitely.
works. I mean, everything works. Every light switch works. Every faucet, water comes out. Every toilet flushes. There's no rolling. In Africa, you have in Nigeria, you have rolling blackouts. So like, you can never know when it's going to happen, and you never know how long it's going to be. But the electricity grid, the electrical grid will get overloaded, and it'll all just go down. And that happens all the time, and you never know when it's going to happen, and you never know how long, but you know it's going to happen. So it's like that never happens here. Even if it's a storm, Pepco will come or whatever the company, your power company is, and they'll be up on those fucking poles in no time, putting the power back up. Africa, man, that shit would take fucking a year for them to come fix your fucking if a storm knocked down your power. They might not ever do it.
Yeah, for real. For real.
So like they have to I think they just look at it like, damn, you got access to all this white what do you call it? What's the word? White
Excellence.
Excellence. Yeah, white excellence. Yeah. Yeah,
That
like
is
they
that is.
and everything's just right there. Like think about it. Think about how much you gotta, man, I need a job, man. I can't find a job because I'm black. Man, you can fucking shovel shit in America. It makes more money a day than you could like in Nigeria, you know, working at a fucking goddamn office or some shit. Like, I mean,
That's facts.
you could make your job in America. Panhandler. A panhandler in America can make. Remember, we seen all those videos of those people. Remember that one dude? What was he fishing or some shit? He was digging up sand from the bottom of the ocean in those buckets and shit. And the sand had some kind of mineral in it or some shit. And then, or they go in those landfills and dig up the fucking bags, and they go and pick up. Like, yo, those jobs those people do in Africa to make ends meet are horrible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all types of dirty jobs in Africa. But yeah, man, look at these. They say the Jews. This place saying the Jewish people are a different phenotype than the white. They saying that the Jews got prognathism, but it's different type of prognathism than us blacks, because our noses are flat. I didn't know that. What do you think about that, Fisherman? Have you noticed that?
I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell. I don't think it's as cookie cutter as these two, diagrams present, but they definitely have a specific phenotype that you can at least get pretty relatively accurate guessing whether they are or not. But there's been a lot of overlap.
Yeah, admixture. It's just like how like a light skinned black person with straight hair say they black. It's like, yeah, I guess you black, but I mean, yeah, but like you ain't fucking black. You ain't African and shit. You ain't no motherfucking the Mundan, but you black. Yeah, I'm sure Jewish people, Jewish crew got a lot of Juice Crew has a lot of um admixture. Everybody does, man. But yeah, man. Let me see.
Hey, what do you think about black Hebrews? Because I hear like that in Israel they be complaining that they get treated racist or some shit like that.
Yeah, everybody treats black people bad all over the world, man.
Huh.
Yeah, like yeah, definitely, without a doubt. I mean, like the black Hebrew, they're mostly Ethiopians in Israel. And they're just
Mm-hmm.
they're not like they're not them. Like they Ethiopians, man. They're like multicultural societies don't work. They have to be forced
Not
on
at
people.
all.
They have to be forced, and if nobody's forcing that on those Israelis, they're going to reject it. The only
Yep.
way multicultural societies even can happen is like England or Germany, where they like punish you if you speak out about it, or they throw you in jail if you tweet about it. That's the only way it can work. Or
That
America, where it's just founded like we were just founded with you know what I'm saying, like blacks was here, then we got emancipated and shit like that. But like it's very very rare that a multicultural society can happen. You know.
crazy that you mentioned that because in Germany these fucking sunmen raped this poor girl and they gave them like 2 years probation and then this German lady who complained about it online, she
Yeah.
got her house raided, she got thrown in jail. I mean, they treated her worse than the rapist, all for
Oh, it's tons
speaking
of
out.
that. No, it's tons of that going on, especially in England. Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
what the
people,
fuck?
England is fighting back against that now though.
I hope.
English people are they're starting to grow a pair. It might be too late though. It might
Yeah,
be too late,
it might
man.
be. They're outnumbered 8-1.
Well, ultimately, what it comes down to is whether the world is going to turn on the Jews crew or not, because they're the orchestrators of all of this uh, flux, all of these changes, and that's what's going to have to change. Is are we going to continue to let them print the money and therefore control all the institutions that rely on the money, or not? That's all it boils down to.
Mm.
Who knows? It could be one day where the world just says, you know what, we've had enough.
I
Because
mean,
the only reason that Israel exists is because the USA. But we support 70% of their military. We back them with troops. I mean, if we said fuck that and cut them off, they wouldn't have anything.
Yeah,
it
the
ain't no
problem, the
we.
hard part about doing that is that they print our money and then they use that money to buy off our political class.
Yeah, Congress is bought by APAC.
Yeah, APAC. I've walked past there. They have it at the Washington Convention Center, and I've walked
Oh yeah,
past the convention center. Like I used to, my route used to be past there all the time, and I would always look in there, and I mean it's a huge thing. Like APAC is like, I mean it's like the biggest thing that they have at that convention center all year. I
Yeah.
mean it's
And that's
huge.
only one organization. They have
for
hundreds
real.
of organizations that piggyback off of APAC.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
there's
And
more.
there's all kinds of scams and schemes they do to bypass campaign funding laws, so they can funnel large sums of money to the candidates that are pro Israel, and they can get rid of candidates that are not.
Yeah, isn't that what they did with the guy in New York? What was his name? He was running for senator. Bowman, I think it was something like that.
Jamal Bowman.
Yeah, they kicked his ass out once he started speaking up.
He was a moron though. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he was. He was. But
I want to point out something that's glaringly obvious to everybody who just watched this clip. No, it's not the fact that everybody in this video is brown. It's the fact that everybody in this video is a man. This is Vancouver, BC's entertainment district on the...
And brown. Like downtown Vancouver is nothing but Arab men walking around at night.
Destroying the city.
No women.
Because they don't feel
All
safe.
men. Think about that. Vancouver, that's like West Coast Canada, right? That's one of their best cities other than Toronto. And it's 100% men at night.
That shit looks dangerous.
On a Friday.
I want to point out something that's glaringly obvious to everybody who just watched this clip. No, it's not the fact that everybody in this video is brown. It's the fact that everybody in this video is a man. This is Vancouver, BC's entertainment district on the largest party evening of the year, New Year's Eve. And yet there are no women in sight. You have to ask yourself the question, why? Why are there no women out? It's because these women don't feel safe going out. They don't feel safe going out because these men make them feel incredibly uncomfortable when they do. See, the quality of a society is based on whether or not the women, the vulnerable, the children can go out and enjoy themselves and feel safe. And our quality has gone down because our women don't feel safe going out by themselves at night anymore. This is due primarily to our broken immigration system. As it turns out, some cultures are just willing to scare the hoes. It's an indictment on us as a society when our women are being harassed in public and we do fucking nothing about it.
Damn.
It's sad.
Niggas scaring the hoes off.
Well, in the same breath, this guy probably supported, liberal politicians that made that possible. So it's like, what exactly is your point?
I bet he donated money to BLM.
Imagine being, it's New Year's Eve. You and your man's, I'm like, yo, we about to slide downtown, see what's cracking, see what we can get into. And then you see a whole goddamn flash mob of Ahmeds and Mohammeds. Ain't no holes outside.
Imagine being a liberal and you are so stupid that you first tout being like, refugees welcome here, and then being confused when they get here, knowing what their culture is, and then not understanding how their culture doesn't mesh with your big gay disco culture.
And they're men, like these are men, like they're not pansies like you. Like they would never let you come to their country unless you have bombs and on land or troops. Like you have motherfuckers dropping out of helicopters to do this to them. You just allow them over. They invaded you without firing one bullet.
The glider governments, controlled by the money, just let it happen. They like Justin Trudeau completely destroyed the cities of Canada, but that was his job.
He sleeps like a baby. Listen to this. This is Wikipedia, man. It says the mass sexual assault of women in public has been documented in Egypt since 2005, when Egyptian security forces and their agents were accused of using it as a weapon against female protesters during a political demonstration in Tahrir Square, Cairo, on 25th of May. The behavior spread, and by 2012, sexual assault by crowds of young men was seen at protests and festivals in Egypt. In these assaults, assailants would encircle a woman while outer rings of men deter rescuers. The attackers regularly pretend to be there to help the women, adding to the confusion. Women reported being groped, stripped, beaten, bitten, penetrated, and sexually assaulted. The attacks were described as the circle of hell. Commentators say the attacks reflect a misogynistic attitude among Egyptian society that penalizes women for leaving the house. seeks to terrorize them out of public life, and views sexual violence as a source of shame for the victim, not the attacker. Sexual assault has been used as a weapon against female protesters in 2005 and since July. So this is, of course, this stuff been going on for eons and eons, but I think it's been going on more now because they actually try to leave the house. I don't think 200 years ago a Arab woman would have even tried to leave the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the smartphones are working, and the propaganda and the ability to see what other women around the world live like, or verbalizing these pro-female talking points. It's giving them more confidence to try to buck the systems where they live.
And they call this shit the circle of hell, man. Just got a whole bunch of Patels just waiting.
I've tried to explain to glider women in my life about what life is like for women in these different parts of the world, and they just think I'm full of shit, and I roll whatever.
Oh wait, cool cat in the back. I mean, I feel bad for these women, man.
Me too.
It's just they're gonna have to deal with this for
I have a
the
hard time
time
feeling
being.
bad for them, though, because they brought it on themselves.
But not all of them. I mean, I don't think every single one of them voted for this. Who knows?
I mean, look at this shit, man. This looks like the background of a beheading. Hey, look at this
Yeah,
shit, man.
for real. This looks like something bad's gonna happen. You just get a bad vibe. Like hell no. Like
It's
make a
like
U-turn.
that whole vibe is like it just screams honor killing.
Yeah, like make a U-turn. Get the fuck out of it. I could imagine four girls trying to like enjoy the night, driving by that and being like, "Nah, let's go home. Fuck this shit."
Yeah.
Earlier today, GB News' own Charlie Peters revealed an horrific story that detailed what happened to Sam, the grooming gang survivor from Oldham, who was gang raped and ignored by the police. After she went to a rape crisis centre, she was given the morning after pill. This is what happened.
I put the pill in my room, and then I went out. The following day when I came home from being with friends, there was an officer sat in my mum's living room, and my parents were in the kitchen, and he was quite vocally aggressive, telling me how important it was to take it. He had already gone through my room and found it and produced it in the living room to me. He popped it out the box and tried and passed it to me to take. I refused and said, "I'm not ready," and walked off to go upstairs. He followed me into the hallway, and he grabbed my arm and then grabbed my face and pushed it into my mouth to swallow and said, "It's for your own good."
This is so appalling to hear Sam from Oldham's story. It's perhaps the most brutal of them all and is emblematic of why Oldham Council asked for a national inquiry. Indeed, Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch has tabled an...
Now they're asking for a national inquiry. It's going to take longer to do, and then they're going to find...
Yeah. It's all nonsense. It's like, if you actually want to change something, you have to be violent. You have to act. You can't sit around and be like, "Oh, righto, it's just preposterous," and blah 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 blah.
An amendment to tomorrow's Children's Wellbeing Bill to force a national inquiry into this consensus-shattering phenomenon. And yet the amendment will almost certainly be
They got a
defeated.
black woman in charge of England. Fuck.
Man, what the?
They fucked
Yeah,
up.
this is the new face of their pseudo conservative movement. It's just like with Trump. Like they put in somebody who doesn't really represent the brand at all, and it just totally, falls apart. But conservatives are so fucking gullible. All the person has to do is say, "I'm conservative," and they're like, "Oh, cool." Like post a couple based tweets, and that's all it takes. Conservatives are really stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on now, pal. I mean, Trump did do some things good when he was president.
Yeah, but he's a lifelong Democrat, and he ran as a Republican. But here's the thing. I don't want to get bogged down in Trump right now, but yeah, he he has, he's doing this thing. We gotta see, man. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll monitor the situation. But this woman is not a conservative.
Seems like Trump is
So
pro
twice in
mass
just over a week,
immigration.
Labour looks set to turn down an opportunity to do what is right for the victims in the country. As I said yesterday, Labour is hiding behind the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse in 2022, but this is untenable. We know that roughly 50 towns are affected by grooming gangs. IICSA covered only 6. Labour says that locally
They have grooming gangs in 50 of your cities. Jesus Christ.
Grooming
inquiries
gang.
are the answer. The local
grooming gangs, and that's a term that makes it seem like it's not what it is. Like it's kind of like when cutting off your shit, cutting off little kids weenies. They call it what they call gender affirming care.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, like this grooming gang. Now these ain't no groom. These are this is fucking sadistic, fucking
serial. This is serial rapists. Yeah, violent rapists.
Yep.
These are some violent Arabs, that look like they work at 7-Eleven, but they're just super horny and on the prowl. That's what it is, bro.
local ones do not have legal powers to summon witnesses, to take evidence
Thank
under
you. Come
oath,
again.
or requisition evidence. Local reviews can also be compromised by the councils themselves. Charlie Peters reported in the summer that whistleblower Maggie Oliver claimed that 2 leaders of the review resigned because they were prevented from accessing information they needed. At every turn, we've witnessed obfuscation, frustration, and manipulation. Now is the chance for Labour to bring an end to the cover-ups and restore the trust that this scandal destroyed. As ever, let me know your views, mailmog@gbnews.com. Well, I'm joined now by the former Home Secretary, Suella Braverman. Suella, thank you very much for joining me.
Indian lady.
Talking to this Indian lady.
It's
so funny. It's pathetic, but it's like hilarious.
For real.
Ain't shit about to get solved, man. Yo, brownies always look out for other brownies, bro.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they do it wrong. Yeah.
Yep. They could be rich. They could do
This
anything.
old glider will never entertain the idea that maybe this whole diversity thing is the actual problem.
Yeah. Salute to so make sure y'all support the channel, man. Hit the PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat, man. Support the channel. We going in hour 4, I think. Yeah, I think hour 4.
This scandal is so appalling. The information.
If you're enjoying the stream, man, hit the PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. If you're enjoying the stream, man. If you're not enjoying the stream, don't worry about it.
That's come out almost unreadable out in a public arena. It's so deeply shocking. What seems to have been the problem, though, is that nobody was willing to enforce the law because they were worried that they would be accused of being racists.
Yes, Jacob, you're absolutely right. If there's one way of distilling this scandal, one of the biggest scandals our country has seen in recent years, down to a root cause, it is that there was countless instances when the authorities, people with powers, people who owed duties of care to these vulnerable children, police officers, social workers, teachers, counsellors, and many, many more who knew about what was happening, were told by the victims themselves about these heinous crimes, and they turned a blind eye because they were scared of being accused of being called racist. They were scared of causing tension.
Oh, she on our side.
Think about that, though.
Not really.
Like how like that word just makes gliders, like even over here too. It's the same. It's very similar. You know what I'm saying? In that with crime and shit. But it's like, God, that word is they've done a number on you guys because that's internal. That's not external. That fear of being called a racist, gliders carry that internally.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny too. Is like Gliders could literally just use the same term against everybody else. It's not that fucking hard. Oh, you want to come here and abuse women? You're a motherfucking racist. Like it's not difficult at all. I don't understand why gliders are so lost in the sauce on this. It's not that fucking difficult. But talking about like, oh, this is a brown woman on our side. Well, I mean, look at what Vivek just did. That's a brown guy. He's sharp as fuck. You know, he can talk his ass off like Obama. And he's super based conservative. And what the fuck did he just do? Shoved the H-1B thing right up our fucking asshole.
Oh yeah, I fucking
But
hate
that's
that
been going.
bullshit.
But that's been going around for years, though.
And he didn't say, and he encouraged more of it. Just because somebody says they're fucking conservative doesn't mean a goddamn thing.
We have what they call a uniparty. They all work together on the same. It's
Shout
all
out
one big club.
Yeah, shout out to Jake Best it says for the Jet Fund, man. Salute to Gentle Savage. He said, "Yo, Ock Nation, did you know that Keir Starmer helped get the death penalty abolished in Jamaica when he was human rights lawyer?" Yeah, talk about a place that needs the death penalty, the country with the highest murder rate in the world. They need.
Oh really?
Bad. Yeah, Jamaica, the highest murder rate.
Wow.
To community relations. They were scared of rocking the boat. And this seems to be a prevalent feature in this scandal. It's an injustice and disgusting.
Now, we were in office for a long time whilst this was going on. Now it's Labour's responsibility. But it's not really party political, is it? It is a cultural thing that the British establishment, for want of a better term, absorbed political correctness, thought that multiculturalism was axiomatically a good thing, and therefore didn't want to point out that white girls were being raped, molested, tortured by primarily people from a Pakistani community.
Yes, exactly that. And what we've seen is a squeamishness and an institutional fear, an institutional cowardice, as I would call it, to tell the truth. And officials and professionals covered up, abuse. They covered up most horrendous exploitation because they didn't want to put their heads above the parapet and they didn't want to expose themselves to the claims of racism. And it's a symptom of the failure of multiculturalism.
Hey, you guys need to stop raping girls.
For real.
You racist.
It's not even like it's not a good tactic at all. I don't understand it.
It only works because it's internal. Like gliders if gliders were like, man, fuck that shit. Fuck you. Fuck racism. Fuck that word. It means nothing. That gliders have to play along. It requires gliders to play along with it. Y'all have all the power. Y'all don't have some of the power. Y'all have all of it. Now I know you say juice group, but as far as like of the like, if y'all wanted it, y'all have all the power. You have to play along with it. You have to be like, you know what, you have to feel like racism is a big thing. And it's like the worst thing you could ever do. You have to feel that internally for that claim to be say, hey man, I'm not gonna fucking speak out about these fucking dudes that just hopped off a boat and are now raping our little girls. I don't say nothing about it because I don't want to be called this word. That's inside of you. That's like the N-word. Like they say the N-word doesn't have any power. Like me, I don't like being called the N-word. But like if I was walking down the street yesterday and a white dude like called me the fucking N-word, I'd probably mace his ass. But it's like takes me feeling that like the N-word means something bad for that to go. If I could just be like, man, fuck you, cracker, and it'll be like and just feel like I matched his disrespect by saying that, it would be nothing. Tit for tat. But I know that word doesn't mean the same thing. It doesn't feel the same. So it's like, You know, it takes you and gliders. I don't know how you change gliders from internally feeling that the worst thing you could possibly be on the planet, even worse than a child rapist, is a racist. How do you fix that?
I know, right? That is a great question. Because in England, they were they had a hotel right next to a elementary school, and the parents were complaining that, hey, we have all these grown ass men taking pictures of our kids, and they were pointing it out. And when they did that, they were called racist, and then they stopped complaining because they were called racist, which to me is insane. It's like, yo, defend your fucking daughter. Fuck being called racist. Don't
Or
let these
just call them
fucking
racist back. Like, just use it against them. It's not that fucking hard.
yeah, but
I
do whatever
it's
you
like
gotta do to defend your
that's,
daughter. Like,
that's all you have to do.
fuck.
We're gonna deport all these motherfucking racists.
Yeah, salute to Andy Armour, man. He says, if you're not racist at this point, you're not paying attention.
For real. It's a
It's a
badge of honor
symptom
now.
of wholesale professional failure, and it's a gross example of where
And
political.
the problem with this Indian woman or that black woman addressing this, being in a leadership position, addresses, is that they don't have that internal feeling of guilt about being racist. This woman doesn't feel that she comes from a caste system. So her caste, like the people dark like me over there, they're at the lower class. She's fine
They're
with
the
that.
worst.
Yeah,
Well,
but
not
over
only
there,
that, but it's not her women that look like her that are getting harassed either.
But the caste system in India is like the fucking worst system you could imagine. Like,
and she's fine with it over there. Like she's
yeah.
not
Oh
fighting
yeah,
against
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You go to India, nobody's like fighting against that. But
Nope.
she'll come to America and be in a BLM fucking march and shit. Like
Facts.
so it's like they don't feel that internal heaviness about racism. So I think it should be a white person, like, you know, in charge of this, because they actually share that. But then again, you could say, like, it would take somebody who doesn't feel that to, like, actually, you know, do something about it, because she doesn't feel that. She don't feel like being a racist is the worst thing she could probably do. She probably thinks that racism is probably maybe like 1,000th worst thing she could do. She could probably think of 1,000 things that she could do that would be worse than being racist. Because she's not white. White people, it's the number one worst thing you can do.
Correctness has actually caused horrendous pain and suffering to thousands of young girls.
And is part of this problem the legal arrangements around protected characteristics, that officials, bureaucrats are under particular pressure not to treat everybody equally, but to treat them according to their protected characteristics? And this undermines the basic principle of equality before the law.
Yes, I think there's some truth in that, Jacob. I think the notion of protected characteristics finds itself in the Equality Act and has its genesis in international law and European law, European rights law as well. And what that really does is it divides people. It divides people by physical characteristics, and it does it, and it obliges public sector equality duty, something that you've railed against vociferously on your show, obliges the local authorities to make sure that minority groups are given special treatment effectively. And that is one contributory factor to this scandal. There's been a real fear to challenge injustice because the perpetrators were members of a minority ethnic group. And that was seen as far too radical, far too draconian an approach for professionals to take.
And isn't this a threat?
Shit. Y'all look something else, man. God.
For real.
Just the strangest bunch of nonsense.
I know. How the fuck
Because the expectation is that
This woman right here is base. She got a bounty on her head. She a Muslim woman. She been talking out against them for years. What's that dude, Salman Rushdie? Remember they had a bounty on his head since like the 80s, and they finally got him a couple years ago. This woman right here, they got a bounty on her head. It's like an open bounty. Any Muslim person that catch her slipping.
A bounty from where?
Is that men will behave like animals, either individually or in groups, and attack women. When you talk to the imams and you say, it's men should be taught to control their sexual urges, the imam will say, actually, it's women who should stay out of sight. It's women who should cover themselves up.
I want to start by talking about the grooming gangs crisis, rape gangs epidemic. Is this specifically an Islamic problem? Because many people.
Yeah, faggot. Who else is doing that shit? Like,
like
fucking Sun Man.
Liberals.
The Sun Man don't even got no grooming gangs over here. Like, we ain't even doing that shit, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's these fucking sand squirrels.
This isn't to do with people's religion or even ethnicity.
It has to do with people's ethnicity and with people's religion.
Yo.
That bitch said, what, nigga?
For real.
Hold on,
It has to do with people's ethnicity and with people's religion.
He just completely countered exactly what he just said.
Victims, vulnerable girls, some of them as young as 9 years old, we fret about what to label it, what to call the problem. In the case of the UK, that many of them are of Pakistani origin and some of them Bangladeshi, but there are also other ethnic groups. In the case of the Netherlands, I lived in the Netherlands in the late 1990s. What you call grooming gangs in the UK, in the Netherlands, they were called lover boys.
Yo, what the?
Language is so important, because if you call them lover boys, it doesn't seem like that bad. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like, now I see why black people don't like being called thugs. So y'all actually call us what we are, like thugs. Like what if y'all called us like I don't know,
misunderstood vagrants.
Yeah,
misguided youth. Misguided youth.
Now even that's too harsh. Like they call them lover boys. They call their group their
pleasure seekers. Sons are just pleasure seekers.
Shit.
Young Muslim men, mostly of Moroccan origin, who did the exact same thing, who went and struck up relationships with young girls in very poor neighborhoods, white working class neighborhoods, and then gave them the impression that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, and then gave them presents, giving the impression to the young girl that her boyfriend cared so much and was seeking a life of commitment, and then found themselves pimped in the red light districts in Amsterdam and other areas where young women are sold into prostitution. When you look at the stories in Sweden and Germany, what you see are these gangs, many of them related to one another, blood relations of one another, preying on young women. I saw the phenomenon. I saw also sexual assaults perpetrated by groups of young Muslim men, mostly young Muslim men, but there are others. There are also non-Muslims. For instance, there were men from the former Yugoslavia, Serbians. Some of them come from some African countries that are not necessarily Muslim, but they are immigrants. They are doing this either in groups, and it is an organized system, such as the grooming gangs, or it's spontaneous, what looks like a spontaneous, cohorts of young men finding a vulnerable woman on the streets at different hours of the day, train stations, other places, and then assaulting in ways that to European eyes seem almost warlike. I mean,
they basically banging the shit out them little girls. Salute to my man TX47. He says on Rumble, man. Shout out to everybody watching on Rumble. He says, "Hey, Op, you found one of my favorite channels for light entertainment. GB News. Britain's libel laws really cripple what the news can say about their politicians. Damn, these people are they gonna get raided if they keep talking like this. Jesus." And shout out to you, TX47, for gifting 5 Rumble memberships, man. Shout out to you, man. Salute, man. If this place, if these people right here, man, they better not have her on again.
in the cases that are reported in Sweden that sometimes end in the death of a victim,
they raping these little girls so hard in the street, like surrounding them and shit, and just, you know what I mean, and just act like it's a big circle, and then they rape her so hard. Well, I could see that. A bunch of men, like how many grown men can a 9-year-old girl take?
What we saw, I think it was in 2015, 2016, sort of the game of the harrush, which is when a young woman is encircled by a man, and they really do create this prey-predator dynamic. And the young woman is assaulted, her clothes are torn down, and these men form 3 concentric circles, where the inner circle is the one that is assaulting the victim in all these different groping, trying to put something in every orifice of hers. And then there is a middle circle that is cheering this thing on. And then there is an outer circle that makes sure the outside world doesn't stop it. Now, things like this happen regularly in Egypt. They happen in Pakistan. They happen in different parts of the Muslim world. But these things are now, you're seeing them in Europe. And what we made this trade-off in different countries, not all countries.
And the crazy thing, a can of mace to clear that whole fucking thing out. That's how crazy the world is. A can of mace would clear all of them out. Like everybody, all of them would be coughing and walking away and looking, trying to bump it in and shit. That's how crazy the world is.
Countries did it, but countries like Sweden,
I don't even know if they can get that over there in a lot of places.
I bet it's illegal. I guarantee it's illegal in New York City.
Hell yeah.
The trade-off is we want to protect a minority. We don't want terrorist activities. We don't want what happened, say, for instance, in Denmark in 2016, when an imam went shopping around with real and fake cartoons and mobilized the Muslim outrage. So there's all this tiptoeing around Muslim minorities for various reasons. But for whatever the trade-off is to sacrifice these young, vulnerable women, it is for Europe and Western societies to give up their commitment to the protection of children and women. And it's awful, and it's shameful, and it needs to stop.
As I said, there's been a long argument from generally those on the left who claim, if you look at some of the data, a lot of it comes from white people, particularly paedophiles in the UK, and it's not just one specific group. I thought I'd just say that just for a bit of balance, but I want to ask about Islam itself. What is it about Islam that you think made these people do these horrific crimes and essentially rape young white children? Is there something about the religion itself that you think, is there something in the doctrine? Is there something in the Quran? Is there something about the religion that made them do this, or is the religion irrelevant?
The religion is relevant, but the religion doesn't say go rape. I tried to explain the complexity of the angle where the religion is relevant in my book in Pray when I was trying to document this problem. These young men come from a different society with a different way of life, and it is an Islamic way of life, doctrinally, but also culturally. And the relationship between men and women in these parts of the world is governed by this honor and shame code. Women stay out of the public eye. When they come into the public eye, they're chaperoned and they're covered from head to toe. Because the expectation is that men will behave like animals, either individually or in groups, and attack women. And so
that's the expectation. Where in European nations, the expectation is you hold the door open for a woman. You know what I'm saying? If a woman is you see, you know what I'm saying, you give a woman your coat. They used to put their coat down over puddles so that a woman could walk over the puddle. Like chivalry and shit.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about that. That's why we could never mix.
Yeah, man, that shit is crazy.
When you talk to the imams and you say, you know, it's men should be taught to control their sexual urges, the imam will say, actually, it's women who should stay out of sight. It's women who should cover themselves up. They are the ones who should not put themselves in vulnerable positions. Now, in a country where Sharia law is the way of life, the law of the land, that holds. And these dynamics do happen. Men attack women, and it depends. If you're a woman who comes from a family of very strong men, there is retaliation. It's called an honor retaliation. And sometimes you have feuds that last for generations, that spill the blood of, you know, any member of anyone who is perceived to be on the aggressor's tribe or clan or group. What I've just described to you in Western societies.
So European law has taken that out of European society, where you have the blood feuds lasting generations, because you have the law. The perpetrator is punished within the confines of the law, and you don't have to the family doesn't have to go kill him, then they come back and kill the other. You go back and kill. The law does it. That's Europeans. That's one of the Europeans' greatest feats. One of the white man's greatest feats to kind of like minimize the natural blood feuds that would happen if everything was up to us. Like if you stole my chicken and I had to go fucking kill you, and now you got to go kill somebody in my family, and I got to kill. And really now with white people, it's like, you stole my chicken. All right, you stole this chicken. Here's your penalty. We'll punish him for stealing your chicken. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Primitive attitudes to women, primitive attitudes towards conflict resolution. But what we've done is we've allowed large numbers, mainly of men, to relocate to European societies. And then we've adopted this stupid idea that we don't have to assimilate them and that they can live amongst European societies and hold on to their culture and their way of life. And so it is literally a clash of civilizations that is playing out on the streets and on the bodies of women. And every single thing that Europeans said that they held dear, the freedom of speech and the way of life, it's all falling through the cracks. We're all giving it up, all the way down to this. I remember in the 1990s and even in the 1980s, Westerners writing books and saying things about Muslim countries and holding campaigns to end female genital mutilation, to emancipate Muslim women. And here we are now. It is European women, little white girls, who are being raped, and everyone.
So basically, it was a clash of civilizations, and the civilization with the men, the stronger one won. Cause you know what I mean, like the Muslim. If I was a betting man, I would have bet on the Muslims too. Like their civilization is masculine, masculinism, and your civilization is feminism.
But they also outbreed like everybody. They have like, what is it, like on average like 4 kids, while the average white couple has one, maybe two. So they're also
Yeah,
outnumbered.
yeah, and but you know, it doesn't matter if you're importing them in, if you're letting them come in. Like their population is rising in England mainly because of immigration, not necessarily because of breeding. But
No, sure, but I'm saying that it doesn't help that they breed too.
nah. Once they get a
But I mean,
foothold, yeah, then they get here, and then each of them have 4 kids, yeah, and
yeah,
it just it's insane. But
yeah,
yeah, this is if you really just look at it, it's no wonder like it like masculinism beats feminism. Like you, yeah. I mean that's they won. They won. Yep. There was a clash of cultures and they won.
Left and right is looking the other way, except individuals like Tommy Robinson. But then he's in prison.
What do you think it says about British society that this issue was, first of all, covered up by the authorities? And you can look at every single layer, whether it's the police or the social administration, even some parents. Everyone let down these children, politicians, the media, and so on. What does it say, as I say, morally about British society that was allowed to happen, and that this issue was first of all covered up, and then second of all ignored, and actively ignored by the establishment in many cases? Can you talk a bit about our secular society, a bit about liberalism and modern Britain and morality?
So I have a Canadian friend called Gad Sad, and he describes it as suicidal empathy, which he doesn't
He's a
say it's
Jew, by the
exclusively
way.
a problem that ails Britain, but
Gad Sad is a subversive Juice crew. It's like a lot of
apparently
this
it's
has
the
to
entire
be.
West.
A lot of this is, Juice crew controlling your institutions and brainwashing a couple generations, combined with the globalist notions of Christianity. They were all created equal under the image of God, and everyone deserves respect and blah blah blah. You have to rip all of that away and start over on how you fundamentally view the world.
Yeah.
yeah. Isn't it true that in the Juice Crew's book that they believe that they're superior to everybody or something like that?
Yeah, that is their belief, and it has helped them preserve their culture and their ethnicity over time as they move from country to country and are expelled from different countries. Their religion has allowed them to stay cohesive, and the belief that they are unique and that they are special and that is worth preserving. That is something that hasn't been pushed onto gliders. The opposite has been pushed on the gliders, that there's nothing unique or worth preserving about you. And now we're seeing, a few generations worth of that propaganda at work.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no wonder they do that. They're behaving the way they are towards Palestinians. I mean, they don't
Yeah,
see
they
them
don't
as
they
humans.
they feel that way about any non-Jew.
Yeah.
And that's just their moral code, and it works.
Mhm.
And the idea that a lot of the Western, glider world has is like, oh, it's wrong because Christianity and every life is precious, blah blah blah. Well, that's just your version of morality. And if it ends up with you losing in the grand scheme of things in this battle of civilizations, your moral code never fucking mattered in the first place.
Hmm. Yeah, that is true. If you end up the one being massacred, I mean, what the fuck does it matter? Your religion or whatever, if you're getting wiped out every day. It's insane.
It's just warfare that Juice Crew wages at a level that most people aren't conscious of, and it doesn't involve bullets or bombs.
Yeah, and they also get us to engage in war.
Yeah,
Iraq and
we
Afghanistan was for them.
do their warfare part. They don't have the personnel to go
They
on
don't.
these multi-stage front wars where they're fighting North Africa and the rest of the Middle East at the same time. They can't do
Yeah,
that.
they couldn't do it because we support 80% of their military. So they wouldn't have any weapons. They don't have the manpower. It's a tiny country. So they would get massacred really if they tried that
Well,
without US
remember,
support.
Ak, I told you like 2 years ago, why is it that all of these refugees are being evacuated from Syria? It's so that they have the ability to take southern Syria and then push into northern Syria. That was 2 years ago, and look at what's going on right now.
Yeah,
They're,
they're taking
they're
the
doing
Golan
exactly
Heights.
that. Well, they did that they took the Golan Heights under Trump, and Trump recognized the Golan Heights as a part of Israel because he's a gay Jew shill.
Yeah, I
But
fucking hate that about him.
they're gonna take more territory. They're gonna push all the way to Damascus.
Oh, you think that far?
Yeah, oh for sure, for sure. For
Be-
sure, for
But
sure. They
you
want
don't think
Saudi Arabia, they want to take part of Egypt, they want Yemen, they
but you
want
don't think
Lebanon, they want it all.
you don't think they would have a clash in Syria with Turkey because
That's what's about to happen.
because from what I'm told, Turkey wants Syria, but then there's Israel. So
Yeah, they're about to bump heads.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, but then it would put the U.S. in a weird position because Turkey is in NATO, but then we back Israel. So it's like
We're gonna pick Israel every single time. Joe Biden just greenlit like another 10 billion, $8 billion to go help Israel militarily. Like just I think in the past day or two.
I fucking hate that bullshit. Here I am. So many other guys I know, we're struggling to fucking pay our mortgage, and they got money to send to these fucking assholes. Like, it's bullshit. It really is.
This is real 4D chess, not Trump's faggotry bullshit that people are always talking about. QAnon and all that nonsense.
Any final thoughts, guys?
So on that note, let's hope.
Much love to the show.
The world is a scary place, and don't expect it to get any better in the near term.
Much love to the nation, to the chat, and I hope and thank you all for hosting another great show. Salute.
Yeah, salute. This was a good show, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.